What's happening, everyone? Nicky Hawkins here, West Ham Fan TV, back once again with another Friday night pint. I hope you're all well. I hope you had a good week. How are you, boys?
Good, mate. I'm all good. Right? How you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm all right, mate.
How you settled in?
Yeah, well, as you can probably tell, I'm in the kitchen tonight because the room I'm going to be filming in the future ain't ready yet. It needs to be painted and all that, and I need some stuff. But yeah, it's nice, mate. It's different, getting used to it. But I've missed being on here, missed being on the channel for the last couple of weeks, so ready to dive straight back in.
You, mate. Have you got Tinternet?
Hey?
Have you got Tinternet?
Yeah, I got Tinternet now. I've got Tinternet.
Yeah, so I can see everyone in the chat. Hello to everyone in the chat. I can see you all filling up the chat room nicely. We'll take some comments as we go. Thank you very much for joining us on Friday Night Pint. I hope you got a drink. Has anyone got a drink? I ain't got a drink.
Yeah, I have. I've got Griggles.
Oi, oi! Oi. That's an evening out.
I've heard that's really nice, that stuff.
What? Hey, Graham. Yes. Return of the pack.
Positive patch back.
Return of the pack. Once again, return of the pack. She comes everywhere, mate. She was the first thing I packed. I wrapped her in bubble wrap and fragile tape.
Listen, I'll tell you what. That's a good segue into what we're getting. This is why we're professionals on this channel, because this is a great segue for what we're going to talk about first. And I think there's a lot to talk about this week. There's obviously finances and all that sort of stuff, but I want to talk about one thing and one thing only, and that is the decision by our captain to hang up to sign another 1 year deal, which I think is fantastic. But you know, his decision to hang up his boots. And listen, this is going to start off positively this week. You know, we've had over the last sort of 6 months or so, or 3 months, we've had arguments over Allah, and it keeps on. But let's go into some positivity, because there, no matter what you think, and I know there are some detractors from Mark Noble because of what happened a couple of years ago at the London Stadium, which I think is absolutely ridiculous. But there can be no other words other than positive to talk about our captain, Mark Noble. I'll let you start, right, because I know he's very close to your heart, mate.
Yeah, look, it's no denying. I love Mark Noble. I always have. I remember watching him as a kid come through the youth team, and to see what he's done. You know, we all grew up. You know, just like a lot of us grew up in East London. You know, dreaming to play for West Ham, and he did as well. He was a fan, and he's done it over 500 times. Got to captain his team, last captain at the Bowling, first at London Stadium. You know, I love players like Mark Noble because it's what we grew up knowing. You know, we bring through our own. And I know, look, he will go down as a one-club man. I know people say he went out on loan to Ipswich and Hull, but look, I don't worry about that. The bloke, for me, there'll never be another Mark Noble at West Ham. And when I mean that, I mean someone that will stay as long as him. You know, I'd love to see Declan Rice do that. I would, but I can't see that happening. But next season will be his 18th full season as a first-team player. He's had, 8 different managers, 9 different managers, and they've all picked him. So I know he gets his critics, and sometimes rightly so. But when you look at it, when he does retire, it's going to be a sad day. And I'm glad that he signed his 1 year deal. I think he deserves to go out with fans in the stadium. And it'll be a very sad day when he does go. And but the good thing is that I think Mark Noble's come out and said that he will stay on at the club in a coaching role with the youngsters, which I think is great because he'll teach them the history of the club and what you have to do to get into the first team. So I think it's like for me, you know this day's coming when your favourite players retire. It's not a great time. We've all seen it. I mean, Gray, you see Vic Watson retire. But, you know...
had to get that one in. It's been a couple of weeks since we've been able to do that.
No, but I think when you look at it, when he does retire, I think a lot of people who haven't appreciated Mark Noble will appreciate him a bit more once he has retired.
I think that's an important thing. Before I let you have your say, I think that's an important thing to think about. I always said that I didn't want no. Look, Noble's an honest West Ham lad, and he's been honest all the way throughout his career. Is he the greatest player I've ever seen at West Ham? No, he's not. I'll be honest with you, he's not the greatest player. Is he one of the most loyal and my favourite players? Yes, he is, because he's a local lad. He grew up and played for the club. And to be fair, we spoke about this sort of thing a few years back, when Nobes was knocking on the door for England. I think that's a real shame that he never got to play international football. I think he would have been. I think he was worth a cap or two for England. When you look at some of the shite that's got England caps, to be quite honest with you, I think in some of his seasons he was fantastic. When he was a youngster, he was a very good midfielder. He's not the greatest player I've ever seen, but you're right, Ryan. In a game that's gone, so far for money, I think seeing a local boy make it in the first team, captain the side, play over 500 games in the top division, and live his dream. I think you're going to see that less and less, unfortunately, because it becomes a money game. And I think he's going to be one of the last that we ever see. He grew up where we lived. He lived a couple of doors away from my auntie when he was young. You know what I mean? And listen, I can't. We've all had a whinge about him. We've all had a moan about him. But at the end of the day, yeah, I never wanted to see him live to become the likes of Nolan, who I thought, become the villain in the end, because he was getting picked when he really had no sort of business being inside. But Mark Noble, for me, I think he should sign a lifetime contract. And I think any man that, no, I do, right. I don't mean a playing contract, but I mean to be in the club for some capacity. If you come from the club from a boy, 18 years, first team service, first team player, I think you deserve to be an ambassador for the rest of your life. I really do.
I totally agree, mate. I think he should always be connected with West Ham, and I think he will. And it looks like he wants to go into the coaching side, which is great, because if he starts at the bottom, and when I mean the bottom, the youth team, and one day he might move up to the under-23s manager, then who knows? In 5, 6, 7 years' time, whoever the chairman are at the time could come knocking and ask him to run the first team. And that's got to be his ambitions now. When he was a kid, a 6, 7-year-old kid, he had dreams of playing in the first team. Now he's retired. He's probably got dreams of managing the first team. So, listen, we've been lucky enough I have, to meet him off the pitch as well. And he's such a top bloke. You could be in a room with him and you can tell that he's one of your own. He's from where, because he's just got that banter about him and the way he acts. And, he's just an all-round great bloke. And as I said, it's going to be a sad day when he does finally hang up his boots. And I hope that his last game, is a home game and he gets a send-off he deserves, because he does deserve it.
Right?
Yeah. No, I mean, he's basically living the life that we all dreamed of as kids, wasn't it? Growing up, supporting the team, playing for them, becoming captain. How many people get to say that they manage that they captain their boyhood club, played from over 500 times, top flight. And as I've said on previous occasions, I think he will make a very good coach.
I was telling Ryan today. I found a program at work, and I sent Ryan a picture of it. I found one at work that was just buzzing around. It's like an 11-year-old program, and we played Chelsea back in September 11th, actually, because obviously that's a memorable date, and I remember the date on it. Played Chelsea September 11th, 2010, and I opened up. Having a browse and all that, and I think it was on the cover was Dyer, Upson, Hitzelsberger or someone, right? Am I right?
I think
someone like that. Yeah. It's the season we went down, basically. And I opened up the spread, and there's an advert for the club kit. Mark Noble's front and centre. Oh, there you go. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Who was that on the left? Danny Gabidon. Sorry. Hitzelsberger was on the centre fold, and he opened up the program, and front and centre there's Mark Noble, modelling the new kit. By that time, he was already a fucking seasoned veteran in the team.
I remember his debut.
Right.
I remember his debut against Southend, like when he come on, and he looked so young and like,
Yeah.
It's mad. And I remember watching him in like youth team games and in the reserves as they was known back then. And you just knew, like when you looked at him, you just knew there was something special about him, that he was going to make it into the first team. Because at that time there weren't a lot of players coming through into the first team. But Pardew believed in him, and Pardew give him that. And I think at that time as well, Mark Noble was lucky because he had a lot of seasoned professionals around him, like Teddy Sheringham and Matty Everton, and there was a lot of players at the club at that time that sort of put their arm around him. And if you go back to that season when Noble first broke into the first team, the year we come up, if you look at, I don't know if you remember it, Bobby Zamora's playoff diary.
Yeah, I was just going to say about that. He looks a kid. Yeah,
but even then as a kid, you could see the confidence he had just being involved with senior players in and out, having a laugh with them. And you just knew that someone like him was going to make it. And as I said, every manager that's come into the club has believed in him and give him that chance. And Bilic obviously made him captain after Nolan left, which was a massive thing for him. And you can tell how much the club means to him and how much the Bowling Ground meant to him, because he had his testimonial. He wanted it at the Bowling Ground. He didn't want it at the London Stadium. He wanted it at the Bowling Ground because that place meant so much to him. And I know that he had to do these promotional videos to say about the London Stadium, but deep down in his heart, if you asked him where he'd rather be, it'd be the Bowling Ground.
Yeah. I mean, the thing is, his hands were tied, but he can't stand and go, "I don't want to leave. Like, I want to stay at the Bowling."
He can't come out on a video and go, "What a shithole."
But
what's this shit?
But I'm just glad that he's going to get to go out on a highlight with the fans there. Can really show their appreciation for him.
Yeah, I think
it would have been a travesty if it had been this year and there's no one there to.
To be honest with you, if this would have been a normal season, I could have seen him sort of announcing this would have been his last. But I think he deserves a contract. I think he deserves to go out in front of a fan. He's not going to play much. He's an honest enough bloke. You know what I mean? A couple of years ago, you only think it was a year and a half back. He was coming out because we was relying on him to come back, and he was saying, like, you can't keep on relying on me. My legs are going. Basically, he's an honest enough guy to know that he's not going to get enough playing time. But listen, just because he doesn't get playing time, everyone's playing careers come to the end. There's no reason that Mark Noble should not be around West Ham. I think for the rest of his life in some capacity, whether it be coach, whether it be manager, whether it be ambassador, whether it be, just working at the club day to day. And I think that's where he'll be comfortable. And I think that's where, that's where he should be until he decides that he don't want to be anymore.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. I think if he starts off coaching the youth teams, that's something for them to aspire to, because they've got, visible evidence, proof that if you put the hard work in and the endeavour, look at what you can achieve. You could end up being captain of the club.
It's not that as well. One of the main reasons Moisey wanted to keep him on for next season, not only so he can have a good send-off, is to have him around the dressing rooms, because, off the pitch, he's just as important. As a captain, you've seen him, what he's done. Like, look how welcome that not only him but the rest of the squad, but mainly Noble, has made someone like Lingard feel. Lingard's come down to West Ham, and Lingard looks like he's been playing for West Ham for 5 seasons. He's so settled at the club, and that's what you need, someone in the dressing room, because Moisey and Nolan and Piercy and the rest of the backroom staff, they can only do so much. Noble is the go-to man. I can imagine Declan Rice, he got a problem, you go to Noble goes to Moyes. That's how it is. That's how it should be.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's take some comments from the comments section. Christopher Willis says, elbows out to Nobes. Miss Hammerett asks, hi, Nick and Gray, is Dan on tonight? No, he isn't. He's at a party, a virtual one, be it that.
Do you reckon Dan will come on later and say, just back from a virtual party, like when he don't like it?
Yeah, we're virtually back.
Isla Hammer says, hope we go all out for the cup next season for Noble. Stephen Bunn says, Noble last game at home will be emotional, but a brilliant day out. Sacha Hyam says, Rice has gone back to his short buzz cut. Okay. Steve W.H. Bill says, hope the move went okay, Ryan. Penny Lawler says, love no. Well, she says love Knobs. I'm not judging, Pen. Love Knobs. He's been a great servant to our club. Rick Ferguson asked, we'll get to these. I'll ask you anything later, mate. Buckner says, Noble will get plenty of game time next year if we qualify for Europe. Good to see him staying on. Robert Finesse says, Nobes has done a lot for our team and he was a great captain. I salute you. Lots of love for Nobes, Noble legend. WHU Bell says, Nobes is a legend. Fact. Kent Ammers, modern day Mr. West Ham, Mark Noble. I've seen a couple of these, and we'll get onto this in a second. Would love to see a Mark Noble stand in the future. Well deserved, says Hammers Mikey. I've seen a couple of these comments, Matt, and I know this has been flying about a little bit. I think there's a petition and all that shit going on about it, about retiring the number 16. How do you feel about the club retiring numbers? I mean, we've got the number 6 retired. It took a long time coming, but are you a big fan of that, right?
Not really, if I'm honest. I think that to retire, I mean, I know Birmingham, they retired Jude Bellingham's shirt. Like, I don't know why. You know, he was, 16, 17 when he or something like that, just because he got a move to a German club. But no, I'm not.
He retired his shirt when he got pubes.
Yeah, you know, I'd like to see, you know, that number 16 shirt is special. You know, it's what the players should be aiming to wear. You know, to follow players like Mark Noble. The Bobby Moore one is a different situation. You know, the number 6 shirt is iconic, and yeah, that's retired. But no, I'm not for retiring shirts really, because I'm just not in favour of it.
I don't know. I always think it's something to aspire to. Like say you got the 16 shirt, and you could be saying to young lads, you could be the next 16. You could be the next Mark Noble. Couldn't you? It's something to reach for.
I agree with Graham, actually. I think you know, number 6 is a very, very special case. I mean, you know, you're talking about a man that won the World Cup with his country. You know, he was Mr. West Ham. Him and Billy Bonds are Mr. West Ham, and it was done out of a mark of respect. I think eventually when the right owners come in and they decided to retire it. But I don't think you should retire shirts, because if I'm a West Ham boy now, say I'm, for instance, 8 or something, Mark Noble's my favourite player. Mark Noble, I think my aspiration would be I want to wear that shirt, and that's something that, you know, someone like Mark Noble can pass down to someone and just say, like, you know, it's sort of, I know it sounds a bit fucking stupid, but you know, you carry the mantle now. This is for you. I've worn this for 15 years now, but it's down to you now. You know, if you want that number, it's a mark of respect, handing your number on. I think 43 was retired as well for Dylan Tombides, but or 38, one of the two. But yeah, I'm not in huge favour of that. And as much as I love Noble, do you know what would be nice is that when Noble retires next season, Declan Rice takes the number 16 shirt. It would be, yeah, that would be nice. It would be nice. Yeah, I think that's a mark of respect if you're handing it down. But what I'm saying is like people calling for stands to be named as well. Not for me. I'd name something after him, that's for sure. But it wouldn't be a stand. I mean, you know, you go through the history of this club, you only get 4 stands, and unfortunately, like, you know, them stands at the minute, we've got Billy Bonds, we've got Bobby Moore, we've got Trevor Brooking, and I think they're, you know, I don't mean this with any disrespect to Marky Nose, but you know, they're players that went out and won stuff for the club, and
yeah, and that's that. I think that's the difference. Sometimes is that, you know, we all have our favourite players in that, but when you look at the icons of West Ham, you know, in 50, 60, 70 years' time, they're still going to mention Bobby Moore, Trevor Brooking, Billy Bonds, you know. So they're the sort of players that, they deserve the names of the stands, because, as you said, they won things.
I would have statues around the stadium, you know, like Arsenal do.
I'll agree with that.
And if there was to be, like, you know, a load of statues commissioned, 100%, 100%, or a bar or something like that, or a suite, you know, like they have the Canio suite and all that. I'd long one of them off and get him to have a suite named after him. But yeah, I just don't think he'd done enough, unfortunately, to have a stand named after him.
Yeah, well, I think the other one should be the John Lyle stand. But that's just my personal opinion.
Yeah, you could have John Lyle, you could have Ron Greenwood, you could have Vic Watson. You know, there's loads of players that should be recognised more by the club. And as Nicky said, you know, once they get that permission to do it outside, I'm sure you will see statues of some of these legends that we've had at the club.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, definitely.
I definitely want to see though one of the toilets named the Boogers Bog.
The women's boob. Yeah, absolutely. Right, great. Go on. I'll let you pick a subject now.
Have you seen this thing about this Europa Conference and possibility of teams being, and the other thing being teams being put into Europe on previous seasons' participation in European competitions?
Where do I start? There's loads of stuff. There's that. There's Danny Mills. There's loads of shit to talk about this. Right, let's get onto this Europa. Right. I don't think there's much to talk about because it's not. I don't think it's any sort of like coincidence that as soon as the top six are not the top six anymore, all of a sudden they want to start changing the fucking rules.
I said it, didn't I, the other week, Nick? They don't want teams like West Ham and Leicester in the Champions League. It don't meet their criteria, does it? As the big clubs, it's ridiculous. Now, I mean, we see the Danny Mills interview the other day. I think you tweeted about it. You know, West Ham shouldn't. The Champions League. West Ham shouldn't be in the Champions League. It's not a Champions League. And I thought, well, when has it ever been a Champions League? You know, if you want to go down that route, then just do champions only from every country.
Yeah, like it used to be.
No, the thing is, mate,
it used to be.
The thing is, Gray, and this is the by and large of it, and this is the type of thing that Danny, like this is the thing about the media, and I whinge about them every week because they piss me off, right? It only gets brought up when it don't suit their agenda. You know what I mean? Like the Champions League, as a competition now, right? I don't give a fuck what anybody says, right? Listen, if there's people from these countries and all of that sort of thing, having the Swiss champions playing Manchester City is not as exciting as having second place Real Madrid or second place Barcelona playing Manchester City. That's a fucking fact, right? That is a fact. I don't give a fuck. You know, the Azerbaijani champions are going to be playing fucking, you know, Bayern Munich. What's the fucking point? At the end of the day, the Champions League, if that happened, the Champions League would become more and more of a fucking a monopoly because it'll just be the fucking same team getting through to the last 8, to the last 4 and all that. And that's basically what they want. But what they want along the way is they want the games like the Man City. You know, at the end of the day, but they want Man City in it. They want Man United in it. They want Liverpool in it. They want Chelsea in it. They want about 5 or 6 teams from England in it. You know, any one of them. They want all of them because they sell tickets. They put bums on seats. They get eyes on websites.
You say that, mate, but Chelsea and that have to advertise for tickets for Champions League home games.
No, but mate, it's not only about the fans that attend in the stadium. In fact, they don't give a fuck about the fans that attend in the stadium. They've proved that over the last year and a half. They want people. That's what gets eyes on screens, and that's what it's all about.
Because, yeah, but why wouldn't you want to watch a little old West Ham go to PSG or Juventus or Barcelona or Madrid and try to cause an upset? That's what we used to love watching.
No, because we would, of course we would, but that's not the way that the powers that be now.
It's easier for them to sell Chelsea, Liverpool, Arsenal worldwide than it is West Ham.
Exactly, yeah, but do you reckon that when back in 2002, 2003, whenever it was, do you reckon Danny Mills, when he qualified for the Champions League, got to the semi-final of Leeds, thought we shouldn't be here, we don't deserve this, we finished 3rd or 4th in the league?
This is exactly it, right? They finished 3rd that year, 21 points behind Manchester United. He would never have got to have that experience, Danny Mills. Let's be fair, Danny Mills shouldn't have had that fucking experience anyway. He wasn't good enough, in my opinion. He was a good player, but he wasn't nothing fucking special. But what I'm saying is, all of a sudden, a couple of other teams are buzzing around there. The Evertons, the West Hams, the Leicesters. Then all of a sudden it's a problem. Then all of a sudden it's like the VAR thing the other night with Foden. Yeah, Foden didn't get given that penalty. That's the first decision I've seen go against one of these big. And I'm not saying Foden's a dishonest player. I'm not saying Man City are a dishonest team. But you look at the decisions that have happened against Man United, Liverpool, and all that. You statistically gather them up. The top 6 have got more decisions than anyone else, right? All of a sudden, Foden don't get a penalty. They look at it, they don't get a penalty. All of a sudden, in the paper the next day, they're going to review it. They're going to send out surveys now to the. What the fuck? What? It takes Phil Foden to not get a penalty to send out fucking surveys. Is that what it is? What they should do, mate, they should start surveying the fans and saying to them, do you like this? Because we don't think it's working or we don't think it's good enough and all that. That's what they should be doing. But going back to the conference, if they done that, I've got to this truth, if they done that, then like, you know, with the first 2 and, you know, rankings and all of that sort of shit, UEFA, well, what's the point? We might as well break off and let them do their Super League. You know what I mean? Because they're not adhering to any fucking rules. All of a sudden, you know, because the gap is closing between, you know, there's a few teams in transition. They may come back, they may not. Like there's likes of Tottenham. I think Tottenham in the next couple of years will fall off a little bit, and that's not being disrespectful to Tottenham. It's just that they've got a couple of really, really good players there, and if they don't replace them, I don't think they'll be as good as they are, and I don't think they'll be up there with the Champions League. But what I'm saying is. You know, when you all of a sudden there's 3 or 4 teams that can threaten. You know, you had Wolves last year and all that threatening, but when there's consistently 3 or 4 teams threatening, all of a sudden they think, well, hold on a minute, you know what I mean? Like this could be bad. You know, they want the Chelseas, they want the Man Uniteds, they want the Liverpool fan because that gets eyes on adverts, and at the by and large of it, at the crux of it, that's what pays the money.
Nick, yeah, well, I'll tell you want to come at. Go on, sorry, mate. Go on.
No, go on, mate. Go on.
No, I was just going to say, like, you know, who was it? Was it Scudamore was in charge of Premier League a few years ago? And Man United didn't qualify for the Champions League one year, and he went, "Oh, this is terrible for the Premier League." It's terrible for Man United fans. No one else gives a shit. But they showed how they really feel about the rest of the league with that one comment.
But I just want to see Dawson crunch Messi. I don't care what else happens. I just want to see that. That's the ambitions we. But look. Joking aside, like a team like West Ham, if they finish 4th, they deserve it because over the season it's not a fluke. You know, you look at the news today about Sheffield United. You know, it looks like they've. I don't know if it's been confirmed yet, but you know they've parted ways with Chris Wilder. Last year, Sheffield United were on the media's tip of their tongue. They loved them. You know, what are we like 34 points in front of them now? You know, it's as you said though, they don't want to see teams like little old West Ham being. But I tell you what, I guarantee you now, if we did qualify for the Champions League, you go to the London Stadium on a Tuesday, Wednesday night, wherever it is, it'll be 60,000 sellout. You know, non-stop. I look around some of these grounds. I've seen City home games in the Champions League not sold out. I've seen Arsenal games not sold out. Seen United games. Saying that with United have got good support. And Liverpool as well. But you know, not all Premier League teams sell out their home games in Champions League. But West Ham will. We sell out near enough every home game. So it's going to be interesting. It'll be an interesting end to the season. And let's hope by. I mean, it's crazy to think that we're sitting here now talking about West Ham qualifying for the Champions League when this time last year we were sitting here going, I hope we finished like bottom, like fucking 4th from bottom, not 4th from top.
Listen, there's a long way to the season. Let's take some comments. Andrew McDonald donate $25. Thank you very much for that. Andrew says, Ryan, glad you're back, mate. Don't forget your deal.
I need to remember this calendar deal because I put the comment up because I can't remember where it was. And don't say it's if we stay up because that's a lie. I know I would never agree to that.
I'm sure it's Champions League.
If we qualify for Champions League or something.
Yeah, but what calendar do you want? Do you want like a little like me doing little different things every month, or do you want a little?
I'll tell you what we do.
I've
got a good idea. I've got a good idea, right? Now, if we make any type of Europe, not just Champions League, but any type of Europe, we'll do a merchandise calendar. We'll get you in all the merch.
I want to do like you know, like in January, I'm freezing cold, and then in like March, that like spring comes out, I've got like a nice little like just
Jumper.
a t-shirt picking a flower or something like that.
Yeah. We'll do that. And what we'll do, we get 100 of them printed up, and we'll give them away to people.
And then. Oh, I'm fucking laughing to myself. I won't be laughing if we do call it, but like in November, I'm holding a sparkler or something, running away from a firework like that.
We get Champions League right to beat last game of the season. Right to beat. I've got to do it now, haven't I?
In the summer, me and Graham can be naked in the beer garden.
Someone
just put there Ryan in a mankini. Oh, yeah, you wouldn't want to see that. Trust me. Fucking hell. You'll have one name you need a sock head.
I look like you're getting a sock.
You're getting a sock. Don't. I'm using it. I'm having that one, Nick. I'm taking that one.
Mark says fantastic shout with the Boogers Bog Ryan, the Godcan Stadium or the Godcan Stadium tour. Look at Porto's victory the other night. Says Ahmed. Garino Camagnon says should be the only the champions like in FAP's tournament created money. Of course, yeah, that's what it's all about. But you can't change. What I'm saying is it's a bit like the World Series of baseball. No other teams in the fucking world are involved in it. It's not the World Series. It's just a name at the end of the day. They call it the Champions League because it's an attractive name, but it ain't been a Champions League or a Champions Cup for a fucking long time.
It's like the Royal Rumble, Nick. You don't see any of the Royals in it, do you?
That's right, mate. You don't see fucking Meghan Markle coming down and fucking knocking out the big show.
Whoa. Don't mention her name.
Sorry. Fly Gummer, to be fair to Mills, he said that if Liverpool finished fourth, he wouldn't want them to qualify for the Champions League either. You got to say that, ain't you? Why weren't he saying it last year then? Or the year before, the year before that?
And they won
the past, okay. Buckland said should leave the Euro format alone. It's not broken, so no need to fix it unless you're a big club falling on hard times. Something well said, Nicky, but I don't know what I said. David Brooks said true. However, most supporters of the Big Six are glory hunters anyway. That is true, but there are a few genuine fans. Spurs are only where they are because Kane and Son. Buckland says they just want the big names to stay the top for the commercial value. A West Ham versus Wolfsburg final. Leave it out. Fucking hell, we couldn't beat Astra fucking Google. A West Ham versus Wolfsburg final wouldn't be a big enough money spinner, so they're trying to prevent that from happening. Yeah, twice. Yeah, we had 2 fucking goes at it as well. Gary Page says, don't they get teams like us will pack the stadiums because it's special. As I said, mate, it's not about the stadiums. It's not about the. It's never been about the stadiums. It's about the adverts that they run on the telly. Anyway, point taken, Nicky. I think Fly Gumbo wants me to shut the fuck up, to be quite honest with you. Which is a fair point. Gary Page says, what if they suddenly cut the funds this year? We're getting it. Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me. Are you getting a West Ham Fan TV bus if we're getting in the Champions League? Yes. Fucking absolutely. We're going to drive across Europe.
We're going to get an open top one as well because Nicky's head would be so big where he got it right that we finished above Spurs that we'd have to have an open top bus.
Dad Powers didn't think of that. Sounds awesome. My baseball player growing up. What?
Fucking hell, that's a long one, mate. I'd give up halfway through that.
Sorry, I respect your baseball player, but I know nothing about baseball. Worst thing that if we finish fourth and Arsenal, Spurs don't, but one of them win the Europa League, think we don't qualify. If that happens, that happens. At least we fucking finished about them. Well, finished above them. Fuck it. Right. What do we want?
Before you go on, go on. No, I was going to say before you go on to the next subject, I got something I want to bring up that's a bit emotional for me, but I'm going to bring it up anyway. I ain't been here for a couple of weeks, but I thought I just want to know, like, what the fuck has happened to Graham's hair? What has happened there, boy? You've lost it and I've gained it. Look at mine. I look like a prime Elvis. Look.
Oh. When I'm starting to look like the doc out the Cannonball Run, like with his mad hair.
Do you know what though? Joking aside, it suits you, mate.
Cheers,
it really
mate.
does.
It's a bit
don't bend down.
If you lean back in that, like you look like a stopcock.
No, I was going to say, don't bend down. Bend down again, right? Bend down again. Look, it looks like the bat signal. Fucking Batman to come running through your house in a minute.
Bend down again. Bend down one more time. That's a McDonald's M if I've ever seen one.
Oh, fuck.
The golden arches.
Right, go on, mate. Your turn. What we talking about?
Oh, you caught me off guard there, mate. What we spoke about? I was thinking of TalkSport. We spoke about that. What else? What else is there? Come on.
What about finances?
Yeah, you can talk through that.
No, I don't. No, I've got no.
What about that's a good one. Fabianski's new deal. Let's talk about Fabianski because a lot of people was upset with him getting a 1 year new deal because they think we should go out and get a new goalkeeper. And I agree. In the summer, if we can bring in a new goalkeeper to challenge Fabianski, then we should, because I don't think Martin's not really someone that can challenge. I know he done well when he's played, but he's not. Randolph's a decent goalkeeper, but I'd like to see us get a young goalkeeper that we can try to bring in and get into the first team and be our goalkeeper for the next 5, 6, 7 years. But I'm happy with Fabianski. You know, he proved it the other night against Leeds. You know, he's still got it. And I think he's getting better. I honestly do. I think he's getting better with age. A bit like Graham.
Keepers go on longer, though, don't they?
Yeah, no, they do. They can play well into their 40s. And, I just think that it was a good deal for the club. Good deal for Fabianski. He's obviously happy. So, yeah, I'm happy with that.
Yeah. I'm more than happy with it. I think, to be fair, it's a weird one because, like, I think Fabianski's brilliant. I really do. I think he's been one of the best goalkeepers that we've had for a long, long time at the club.
I'll be honest. When I've done my 1 to 11 on Russ Channel, he's my number one.
Yeah,
you know, I just love him. I think he's one of the best goalkeepers I've ever seen at West Ham. I really do. I love Fabianski.
I think that's a fair shout, mate. But you know, at 35, I don't think his best years are behind him just yet, and I don't think they will be for 2-3 years. Listen, I just think sometimes I don't get our fans. Like, I don't know what they want. They want everything all at once. You know, at the end of the day, a fucking goalkeeper should be the last of our priorities about what we sign in the summer. It's so much more that we need in the summer rather than spunking, money on a goalkeeper. Would I like to see one come in? Yeah, absolutely. Would I spend an absolute fortune on one? No, I wouldn't. I don't. I think Fabianski's good enough to be quite honest with you, and I think he will be good enough for the next 2-3 years. Is he in decline? Maybe. Keepers at that age do become in decline, but we've got.
Chris Reeves made a good point. Let's see if Slavia Prague have got a good goalkeeper, because we keep raiding them for their players.
I'll tell you, we'll talk about that in a second, mate. The Slavia Prague connection. This has gone off this week. It's gone mad. But yeah, it's like there's so many more positions that we need over a goalkeeper, and I know there's some good ones out there, and I know there's ones that people, they play FIFA, and all of a sudden they want everyone that fucking's decent on FIFA, but. Let's be fucking realistic. Fabianski is our goalkeeper. He's a good enough goalkeeper, and he will be a good enough goalkeeper for the next 2 years at least. And there's, we need strikers, we need midfielders. We don't need fucking goalkeepers, in my opinion.
The thing is, though, a goalkeeper is an important part of the team.
It's a massive part of the team. Why? If it was fucking what's his face in goal.
Don't say his name. We know you're on about. Don't say his name.
Yeah, if it was that fucking Wally in goal, I'd say, yeah, fucking, I'd sell people to buy a goalkeeper, but it's not.
Every time he'll have Burnley flashbacks. I
was going to say, every time I think of that player, I always think of Nicky's face when he scored that own goal, and I just turned around to Nicky and he went, "What's happened?"
I don't think I've ever been as shocked in my life to see that happen. Mate. I watched it. The thing is, I was on the corner and I watched it. It was like in slow motion. I watched the corner flap in, right? I watched it get crossed in, and all of a sudden he come out, and I don't even know what the fuck he'd done. But I watched it like it was in slow motion, and he come out and he just slapped it in his net, and I was like, when you're shocked, and he looked at me, Ryan. I just went, "What's happened? What's happened?" And
there's people in the comments saying, "Don't say his name."
Listen, I've never seen a player after a game. He looked like at times, mate. He looked like he was going to cry.
I've never seen someone run off the pitch so quick.
I know, man. As soon as that full-time whistle went, I see him sprint. He moved faster at that full-time whistle to get out of tunnel than anyone I've ever seen. Ever. It's ridiculous. But no, honestly, going back to Fabianski, it's I don't think it's a position we need to be filling, especially when the new next year or two.
The thing is, we've been linked with Henderson at United, but he's going to cost a lot of money.
Yeah, of course he would.
You've got the boy at Burnley as well. Is it Pope?
Pope. Yeah, he's a good kid.
Once again, a lot of money. So
I'll be honest with you, we're Henderson, right? I think Henderson's a good goalkeeper, but he's made a few mistakes for Man United over the last couple of months. Like he's not been.
I think he proved that he is a good goalkeeper.
He's a good goalkeeper, mate. Yeah, don't get me wrong, but he's made a couple of mistakes. Like, and he's going to have his eye. Like the Gea for me is one of the most overrated goalkeepers on this fucking planet. I've never seen the fascination with the geezer. He had the Gea. He had one or two really, really good seasons out of his whole career, and he's lifted off the back of them just because he plays for Man United. I honestly believe that, mate. But listen, I think he's going to have his eyes on that Man United #1 shirt, and that's rightly so.
I can't think of his name, but he impressed me when we played him in both games. The Fulham goalkeeper really impressed me. So. Yeah. If Fulham go down, that might be an option to look at someone like him. But I hope Fulham don't go down because I want to see Scott Parker do well, to be fair.
I say it looks like he's turned it round there, doesn't he, Scotty Parker?
I'll tell you what. We can't go through this show without mentioning Scott Parker's fashion. Whoa. He's going up against Guardiola tomorrow. That's going to be like a catwalk, them two, up and down the touchline.
I always think he looks like he's on his lunch break from an office job up the city.
Oh, that's it. Areola. Areola's the Fulham goalkeeper.
Areola, yeah. No, I honestly think he's fine. But yeah, I'll give him that. He's a good dresser. Someone said he's the Ogfather hoodie Ogbonna. Yes, it is.
I'll tell you what. Someone's just said there. Someone's just put Kasper Schmeichel. I don't think Kasper Schmeichel is going to leave Leicester, but I'll tell you what. He's one of the most underrated goalkeepers in world football. Honestly,
I like Kasper.
I'm really surprised that a bigger club, and this is no disrespect to Leicester, that a bigger club haven't gone in for him, because he is some of the saves he pulls off. You know, it's funny. He reminds me so much of Peter Schmeichel, and I know it's his son, but sometimes legends and their sons playing, their sons are totally different. You know, look at what was the boy. Jordi Cruyff and players like that, you know, they're not as good as their dads. But
if you'd have listened to Scott about 5 years ago, fucking Poyet, someone's going to be better than him.
Fucking Elliot Lee would have been fucking Ballon d'Or.
I mean, the thing is with Kasper Schmeichel, mate, he's got some big gloves to fill, because Pete Schmeichel was one of the best keepers ever playing the Premier League, I think.
Oh yeah, I understand.
He started at City, Schmeichel, and he went to Leeds and then on to Leicester. But he's 34. He's 34. He's only a year younger than fucking what's his face, Fabianski.
Yeah. I don't think he was as old as that.
Yeah, he is. He's 34.
Yeah, he must use some good moisturiser, because he looks proper young. Then he still looks like he's in his early 20s.
I'll be honest with you, mate. I think 5-6 years ago, I honestly thought he was going to be the natural successor to Schmeichel.
I think we missed out on the one that, who's the boy that went Villa? Martinez from Arsenal. I think he would have been a good shout for us to try to get him in the summer. But look, I'm happy if Fabianski's our #1 next season. I've got confidence in him, and the defence has got confidence in him as well.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Absolutely. 100%. Let's get a bit positive again. We'll take some comments quickly before we move on. Jenna Haight says fans wanting to replace Fab are the same fans that who say we need a left back. Frankie Seller says, Ryan and the boys, are you happy with the new Mark Noble contract extension? Yes, we are, mate.
Yes,
Go
we are.
check out the beginning of the show. Keith Harris agreed. Goalkeeper situation is fine. We'd love to see Dawson and Lingard permanent. They're number one priorities for me. I think there's a rumour going around that Dawson, if he plays 2 more games,
just before you take that off, mate. If Dawson plays 3 more games, then we automatically trigger a thing to sign him, which is 3 million. Got to do it. I mean, it wouldn't surprise me now if Dawson's not in the squad anymore and Sullivan's gone, no. But we've got to sign him up. You know, what a bargain. The main thing for me is that I know we need a lot of, depending what happens towards the end of the season, if we get into Europe or not, the first things we need to do is David Moyes, new contract, Declan Rice, long-term contract. They're the first things we need to do straight away. And, of course, Lingard as well, who wants to join the club.
Yeah, absolutely. Dawson and Lings is huge. Must be getting before getting other players. Striker is a must and needs to see some more in midfield. Fulham staying up, says Buckland. Geordies will take the plunge. Yeah, they're not looking good at the minute. I like the look of Dynamo Zagreb keeper Livakovic. Okay. Rob Green is a good dresser, says Patrick Murray. Okay.
I'll tell you what, though. He's a good pundit. Rob Green.
Rob Green. Yeah.
Very impressed with him the other night.
Tom McBurney, it's always nice to see other fans in here. I, from a Southampton SC fan, just want to say you're doing an outstanding job this season. Thank you very much. What, just this season? Us personally or West Ham? What's going on?
You know what? With Southampton, you know, they've got such a good team and a good manager as well. I can't believe, like, the run they've been on. You know, they won't go down, but it's, I mean, you go back to, what was it, November? They were top of the league, and I think, didn't they beat Arsenal, something like that? And, yeah, it's just crazy. It's the thing, you go on a bad run in the Premier League, you just drop down the table. But look, Southampton have always produced good young players, and they've got a good manager there. So it'd be good to see them next season.
Craig Iron Somerset. Someone said, is the Ogfather hoodie our merchandise? Yes, it is. Craig Iron Somerset says, bought an Ogfather hoodie. It's the bollocks. Absolute quality, mate. Get your orders in, lads. Thank you for that, John. John and Julian Lennon tells the tale. Okay. Sometimes I just click them randomly. I don't get a chance to read them before I click them up. Hello, I think Crash Schmeichel is the best keeper in the league. Okie dokie. Chris Mills says we would be mad not to go into partnership with Slavia Prague. Great club, great attitude, and genuinely good people. We've been Czechs and back legend. Right, we need to talk about this, I guess. Listen, it's all over social media. They've taken over Isla's fight. They've come out. Souček, Soufal, and the Czechs ambassador, which I really don't get the relationship. I've seen him knocking about Twitter for a couple of weeks now, but I don't understand what the fuck he's doing. I don't know what he is or what his job is and all of that sort of thing. But they've absolutely, I think there's shirts like on the internet that are going for $2,000, like signed shirts, and I think the Slavia Prague chairman himself turned around and said, I'm buying the Soufal one for $2,500 or putting a bid in for it. They've absolutely taken this ball by the horns, mate.
Yeah, there seems to be a great relationship between West Ham and Slavia Prague, and not only that, the owners and with the fan base, and I think it's great, and that comes down to Souček and Soufal.
Yeah,
you know, ever since they've both come into the club, they've been a revelation. You know, they've taken to the fans, and what they've done this week, getting involved with the Isla Caton fight, it's massive. It is absolutely massive. And whatever happens now, they will always be in the hearts of the West Ham fans. Whatever happens.
But when I look at it, though, Roy, when I look at what's been going on this week, it seems absolutely genuine. It just seems like they are just. Even down to the Slavia Prague chair the other week, it just seems like I don't know what it is. It's just that it seems like these guys have absolutely, like, they just get fan culture. Like the other week when Claret and Hugh was spouting their nonsense, he just turned around and went like, you know, they want 50 million for Simmer, and he basically went, no, we don't.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Things like that. I just think that it's fantastic. It's fantastic to see, and like. Honestly, like, skeptics will say that it's promotion and all that sort of thing. I don't think so. Honestly, don't. I just think they've seen something that's going on. They've seen something that's close to the fans' hearts. They've seen something that needs to be done. And I think they've taken the ball by the horns and they're putting their money where their mouth is.
Yeah, like you say, I think regardless of what happens for the rest of their time, like even if they went off to another club in a year or two or whatever, I think they'd still be 10, 15, 20 years' time, they'd still be regarded as sort of cult heroes at the club.
Yeah, and I mean, just the way they've taken to not only the Premier League but West Ham as well, it's massive. And as you said, the connection they've got with the fans and what's gone on this week. As I said, they will always go down, as a fan base as fan favourites. Whatever they do, if they leave the club in the summer, they'll still be regarded as fan favourites, whatever. But I mentioned the contracts earlier. I mean, Thomas Souček and Soufal for their performances, they deserve new contracts, long-term contracts in the summer. I mean, we used to give Pint a new contract every week because he used to bang a free kick in. So let's reward these boys because they've changed the mentality at West Ham. They train hard every day, even days off. I see someone from the club come out and say that they have to tell Soufal to go home. I can imagine him doing a long, hard training session and then he's running in the gym on the running machine. They're going, God, you've got to go home now. We're going to turn the lights off. He goes, no, I'm running. He just carries on running. I bet he don't even own a car. I bet he don't even own a car. He just runs everywhere like Forrest Gump.
It's going to be, and I think when fans come back, they're gonna love him. He's going to become, you know what I mean? Like they're going to love the pair of them. And I think players like that, we remember going away. Like you always knew the players that you wanted to be there. I mean, I still can't get the image out of my head of him fucking breaking down in tears because we didn't beat Man City the other week.
But that's what we have.
You'd have thought we'd have just lost in a World Cup final. We look devastated.
Yeah, but that's what we haven't had for a long time at West Ham. Players that care.
Passion.
Yeah, players that care. It hurts them. They don't want to lose. And that's what you get from these type of players. They've been playing out in the Czech Republic, in the leagues, and they've played in the Champions League. They want to bring that Champions League mentality to West Ham. It doesn't matter if we're a mid-table team. You train and you play and you work hard like you are a Champions League team.
But if you go back to the beginning of the season, I think, like, without blaming my own trumpet, I like this. They've brought work ethic to West Ham.
No, you didn't.
I'll find it, this fucker. I'll find it. They've brought a work ethic to West Ham. They've brought hard work. They've brought a desire to win. They've brought a desire. Like, there's too many times we've seen players come in here and, they breeze through the attitude of some of the players. Like, and without, I loved him, but, the attitude of people like Andy Carroll wasn't, I want to win. It was collect my wages and go home. And that's what I always found from a bunch of them players that have played for us over the last 5-6 years.
But we heard that same story about a certain player who's in the first team now.
Yeah,
playing left back. I'm not going to name him, but he's left back. And his mindset and mentality has changed completely. And he is like, I think I read the other day, he's got the most assists for a defender in the Premier League. And he's playing with a smile on his face and he's enjoying football again. We've always known that he's got that ability. We know when he come to the club, we knew how good he was. But now he's getting back to his best and he looks happy and settled. And that that comes down to not only the manager, but players like Souček and Soufal.
Yeah, it only takes one or two. It's like a rotten apple cart, mate. It only takes one or two to change the whole cart, if that makes sense. If it's rotten, it takes one or two to bring the whole lot down. But if there's good apples in there, then the other apples stay good and they get stronger because they take the nutrients from that. You know what I mean?
You've only got to look at the video that the club put out today in the training ground. You look at everyone got a smile on their face. Masuaku's back training now, which is good to see, and all the players were loving him, having him back. And there's such a I thought that last season under Bilic, was one of the best squad spirit, team spirits I've ever seen. But this is a different level. Honestly, this is well above that. There's something special about not only the squad, but the management and the backroom staff as well. And maybe that's what we've suffered for a few years at West Ham. And we've always said, we need this, we need that. And it looks like it's finally coming together. And maybe, I know he got a lot of stick when he come into the club, but maybe David Moyes was just what we was missing. Just what we was missing. Give him a chance and look what he's doing.
Yeah. I'll be honest, mate. I think the best part about him, though, mate, is he only cost $5 million.
I wasn't going to say it, but yeah, it still amazes me now that he only cost $5 million.
Sean Mann says, if I need Apple advice, Nick, I'll look elsewhere. Thanks, Nicky. All right, mate. How about
you don't know your apples, Nick. You don't know your apples.
You don't know your onions. Eamon Green says, I think Slavia Prague and West Ham should have a pre-season friendly every season. Just have to fit. I'd be inviting them to the Betway Cup or whatever it's called.
They should have it in Prague so we can go on a bit of a jolly.
Well, I think they should have 2 legs, home and away.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Phil Brown says, "Yep, passion is the word." Terry Cummins says, "Souček and Soufal proved the supposedly bigger clubs don't have scouting networks. As how did these two go under the radar?" I think that just happens, mate. It's just, sometimes all you need in a team to bring the best out of people is hard work, and that's what I see out of them too, hard work. Matt Powell says, "I see the Slavia president loves West Ham now. He'll be on the will he be on this live stream in the future?" Do you know what, mate? I might reach out to him, see what he says. At least that ambassador guy. See if we can have a couple of words with him. LTEL 1010 says, "Really nice not talking about a relegation fight, and so funny to be thinking about West Ham players up for grabs."
That's what it's crazy, isn't it? It's crazy.
Yeah, absolutely. Massamuni says, "I'm loving this connect with the Czechs. To be honest, they're both a great bunch." Tommy Darker, for some reason, says, "Nice eyebrows, Nicky." Okay. Same ones I've had all my life, mate. Mark Brown says, "Soufal and Souček mentality fantastic, but let's see what happens once the nightclubs are up."
yeah. I was thinking that once, because Kevin Nolan's in the backroom staff. If he takes them down 195, that's the end of them. That's the end of Soufal and Souček, mate.
Salka from Fret says, "Would you consider selling Bowen for a good price?" No. I'm not sure, mate. I don't own him.
Well, when you say good price, I mean it's something ridiculous. But I'm a big fan of Bowen. I think his work rate is second to none. He needs more goals. He's got to start adding goals to his game. But I just like his attitude. He's a player that he's come from the lower leagues and he wants to prove himself. And we've got another player who in Antonio that wanted to do the same. And look at Antonio now. So I think Bowen's got so much potential. He just needs to. He needs to what can I say? Free himself a bit more, express himself, if that makes sense.
Adam Robini says, "I weren't a Moyes fan, but he seems to have turned it round. Definitely deserves tying him down to a new contract."
That's good. I like what Alan said there, mate. He wasn't a fan, but now he is, and that's a good thing because we all want to be proven wrong.
Yeah, absolutely,
and that is a good thing. And I like fans that admit that they were wrong. And we've all been wrong in the past. We all are. There's players that I said won't work out, but it's good. It's good to see that. I like that.
And as Simon said, when are you guys going to react to your Prem predictions? We'll react towards the end of the season, mate. We normally do. Pete says I think Peach's S is broke because he says their dope merch is dope. Got to get
mate. Peach is the man. Peach, Nick. You seen him?
No.
Oh, mate, you got to see it. I want to get him on this channel. I'm going to message Peach. I've got to get him on here. You do know who he is. He was on Jake's channel. He's.
You have to show me. You have to show me.
Honestly, he's the man. I love him. I love Peach. He loves Elvis as well. He loves Elvis. He always asked about the Elvis picture that I used to have behind me. I might put that back up just for Peach.
Peach, fix your S on your keyboard. I'll get you a new key. Matt Randall.
Imagine he went, "Nicky, fix your teeth."
Yeah, Nicky, fix your face. Matt Randall, will Coventry ever come good? What do you guys think? Connor Coventry? Yeah, I think he will.
Yeah, he's got potential. He's been involved in a few match day squads lately, obviously due to injuries. But yeah, he's got potential. I'd love to see him especially in pre-season, get a run out and hopefully show Moyes what he can bring to the team.
Garino says, "Can imagine Souček breakdancing would be better at it than Crouch."
Oh, imagine just scoring and busting out like a little break dance. Oh, I'd love it.
Christine Tindin, what do you guys think? Gonzalo's from Hammer Chat be unhappy. Yeah, I saw the video. Listen, we all go through private moments, mate. Sometimes, you know, it's not for the internet and whatnot. You know what I mean? Like, and whatever Chris is going through. Obviously, we're big fans of the guys over there at Hammer's Chat. Whatever he's going through, you know, he knows he can always give one of us a call. No problem. Everyone's suffering with something at the moment. You know, mental health, and it's important. You know, if you are suffering, and that's what Chris done well, and I think he's advocated that well, that he's come out and he spoke about it. I think that's a brave thing to do.
Yeah, I haven't seen too much on it because I haven't really been on social media the past few days, but I know, yeah, I've seen a lot of people saying about it, and I did see something on Twitter earlier. But yeah, as you said, mate, we're all suffering mental health issues. And listen, if he wants to reach out and have a chat with us instead of talking to Gio, come and have a chat with us, because I can imagine Gio's a right annoying bastard sometimes.
Yeah, I reckon.
I love you, Gio.
Steve WHU Bell says, same as I didn't want Moyes back, but fair play, humble pie is for me. Listen, mate, I bet more humble pie than anyone this fucking year. That's for sure. I've been a right fucking arsehole. I can't wait to see them predictions, because I bet I look like a right dickhead again. Pat H, love it at West Ham. We definitely need to sign him. Someone says Peachy's a nutter from Canada. Blessed Carlos, luckiest person in football. Loads of comments coming in. West Ham, the free hammer says, if Southgate was England manager when Noble was younger, I think the elusive cap would have happened. What do you lot think? Yeah, I think it would have, to be quite honest.
I think with Mark Noble, the best chance, I mean, that last season at the Bowling, he was one of the best centre mids in the Premier League that season. And Harry didn't get, I mean, who was in charge then? Was it Hodgson was in charge, wasn't it? So, yeah, Hodgson just stuck with what he knew, and he never gives someone like Noble a chance. But I think what Noble done, he played at every level for England, and he captained the under-21s to tournaments and that, and he deserved that, because he could have chose Ireland. He could have gone to Ireland and got 50, 60, 70 caps, but he didn't. He always kept that I might one day get an England cap, but look, he's played for his boyhood club. He's got no regrets, I don't think.
Because I think Southgate, he picks people on merit, not who they play for.
Well, he used to.
Stephen Baptist, I've got to read this one. Stephen Baptist, Nicky, what's going on with the shop then? It's not coming up. And tell your dad hello too. I used to live on the corner from him, and you used to swing on my gate as a 4-year-old with your blonde hair. I had hair, yeah. Yeah, I was fucking really blonde, man.
What, like a Boris Johnson shop?
Yeah, like a Boris Johnson haircut. I fucking shit you not, mate. I was as fucking blonde as anyone. I was the blondest kid you've ever seen.
Saying that, though, mate, my hair's going all fucking, but I need to get this cut. 12th of April, come on.
Yeah, honestly, mate, I had a Boris Johnson. No, I'll say hello to my dad. No problem. If you click the link in the description down below, I think if you Google WHF TV merch and you click on the link, it will come up. Sorry, Nick. I meant the geezer at the bottom has nice eyebrows. What, Graham? Yeah, he's got fucking.
Graham has got. They are legends. They should have their own merchandise.
They need the trim.
We should sell them on our store. Stick on Graham eyebrows.
Yeah, we should.
I want to see people walking around the London Stadium with stick on Graham eyebrows. That is the future.
JC says, got to love Gonz. Yeah, absolutely. Big up Gonzo. Trapper John says, Tammy Abraham, yes or no, lads? Don't get me started. Don't get me started on this.
I've seen this last week, and I'm in the camp that he wouldn't be a bad signing for West Ham. I know you don't know.
I think I've got a couple of mates of mine, Chelsea fans, and they're not like, he doesn't rate him too highly. Said, but we could be the club for him. You know, he could come to us, and
I think if David Moyes wanted him, then I think I've learned to trust David Moyes. And I think David Moyes could get the best out of him. And I honestly think he'd be a decent signing for West Ham. I wouldn't want to pay ridiculous money for him, but if it wouldn't be my first choice, if I'm being honest. But he's not a bad player.
He's not a bad player at all, Ryan. I never, ever said that he was a bad player. I just said I wouldn't spend the whole fucking budget on him. I would.
I'm with you. I'm with you. I mean, my budget. I like the boy at Czech. What's his name? Sima. I like the look. I like the look of him from Slavia Prague. I think he'd be a great signing for West Ham, and I think he's the missing piece that we need. But yeah, I wouldn't go all out for Tammy Abraham. But if we got him, I wouldn't be disappointed. If that makes any sort of sense at all.
No, yeah, I know what you mean. We must go. Well, let's go. Ask us anything. If you want to ask any questions in the thing, we're going to start taking.
Hang on, Nick. I've got something for that.
Yeah, go on.
Look at the bottom.
Hey, road to 60k.
Oh, brilliant. Fuck about, mate. I set that up while I was waiting for you. While I was pouring me vodka, I thought, let's have a little.
See, this is what I like about it when he comes here. He wants the fucking link set up. He wants everything set up. I'll turn up at 2 minutes too.
Nicky turns up at 1 minute to go, pulling his trousers up, doing his hair and everything. I'll get it ready. Friday night Pint. Ask us anything.
James,
can we do the
go on, mate.
Can we do the chat for Neil Walker's cousin on Dancing on Ice?
Yes. Before we go on, we got a message earlier from Neil Walker, who's a big fan of the show. I don't know if you two watch Dancing on Ice. You don't, Nick. You don't strike me as the sort of type that watches it. Graham?
No, I don't.
Well,
sorry,
I do, and I must admit, I kind of like it. Sonny J, who is radio presenter on Capital, he's a massive West Ham fan. Neil Walker sent us a message. He's related to him. I think it's his second cousin. He's in the final this Sunday. So if you don't watch it, just watch it on Sunday and vote for Sonny J, big West Ham fan. Because if we win Strictly Come Dancing, we can put it in the trophy cabinet with the World Cup. So we can say we won Strictly.
Dancing on Ice.
Not Strictly, Dancing on Ice. Dancing on Ice, sorry. I don't watch Strictly, by the way, but Dancing on Ice. But,
Neil, give us a message, mate. Get us his number. We'll get him on the show after the final, no matter how he gets on. Yeah,
no, definitely. Good luck to him. It's I've been watching it this year. I haven't watched it every year, but I've been watching it this year, and he done well. And he done last week when I watched it, he done an emotional tribute to his mate that passed away, which was good. And good luck to him. Good luck to Sonny. You know, come on, your hands. Win the fucking Dancing on Ice. We can put that in the. We can put the X Factor next to the X Factor trophy because Louisa Johnson won it.
Hi guys, will you have heard anything about renewing your season ticket yet?
I think the club
coming out, yeah.
I think the club put out that they're freezing the prices in for next season.
Yeah, listen, right. Listen, when we get to that last 2 or 3 games and we know what's going on, they'll start releasing the things in. I'm going back next year, and I think we're all going back, to be quite honest with you.
There he is. There's Neil, who watches every week. So hopefully, we'll parade the trophy. I'll tell you what we'll do.
Neil, he don't have to win, mate. Just get him. We'll get him on.
Social distance. I reckon we should all go on the number 5 bus down the Barking Road, parading the trophy.
we get a what's name? A fucking open top bus each. What the fuck? Hornswozzler. Nicky eats his dinner in front of everyone sometimes. I mean, what the fuck? What, you a fucking rat? Would you run away with your dinner or what? What do you do when you go with a restaurant? Hide in the toilet.
What, you had a fucking cheeky little dinner while we were on here?
No, I probably, you know what? I probably have. I think,
I'm sitting there thinking, hang on, has he had a fucking nice little fry up on the side?
The thing is, right, I'll tell you what the situation was, right? When a couple of weeks ago, this is what I reckon. I mean, I don't know why he's so offended by this, right? But we're doing the watch along. We do the watch along. We do the things in the morning. Then we do the watch along. Then we do fan cams. Then we do post match pint. Right? It's a long day. I'm fucking starving, man. What do you want me to do? I'm not off the camera. I'm starting. My missus brought me up a fucking Caesar salad, and he's getting the ump because I'm sitting there eating it. What do you do when you go to the restaurant? Would you go in the corner and hide?
I thought, hang on a minute, I ain't got to rewind and see. He ain't had a cheeky little roast dinner.
He's done well to keep that to himself, hasn't he? He's done well there.
Come on, man. You know what I mean? It's an all-day thing. What are you going to do? Starve?
Here we go. Roy May Jr., $10. Thank you so much, mate. If he shows up at an away match, he says away match, but outside London Stadium, if find a local and have a beer with the West Ham fans, come and see us, mate.
If you turn up outside the London Stadium, come outside the club shop, come and see us, and we'll take you on a fucking piss, mate. All night. Graham's afterwards. This is a big talk of those roast dinners.
Yeah, if Roy wants to
nice leg of lamb in for that one. Nice leg of lamb.
Where's Roy live? Is it Texas or something like that? If he wants to take us over there for a little piss up, I'm happy. Look,
Roy, listen, mate, if you're over here and you're outside the London Stadium, I'm getting all cockney now. My arm's starting to move when I start to do it. Yeah, if you're over here, mate, and you see us, we're out. We're going out. We're on the piss. Don't worry about that. Terry Cummins says, what size is your Oddfather hoodie? Small, medium, or large? I'm guessing he's talking to you, Ryan. Mine's a 2XL.
Mine's a medium.
Everyone's asking about the Odd Bonner hoodies. The Odd Bonner hoodies are on our store. It's whftv-merch.myshopify.com.
You took a good question off there. Philip,
I didn't take nothing off, mate.
A long time subscriber to the channel. Who are your top 3 captains in the past 20 years? Now, this would be interesting because obviously Graham was obviously before us, so we know who his main one's going to be. But for me, who are my top 3 captains? I'd probably say Julian Dix, Kevin Nolan, and Mark Noble. For me, personally,
I'd say Mark Noble, Julian Dix, and I'd agree with those 3. And I'd say before that, Billy Bonds.
Yeah, but this is your 3 captains, Gray.
Yeah.
Oh no, 20 years, isn't it? Oh shit, yeah, sorry.
Yeah, past 20 years. Yeah. So I'd say Mark Noble, Julian Dix, and
has Julian Dix been the captain in 20 years?
No, I don't think he has. As it goes, what is it? 99? No, he ain't. So that's strike that off. No. I'll have to go then. Mark Noble, Kevin Nolan, and Declan Rice. No, Lucas Neal. I like Lucas Neal. But then you got DeCanio. Oh, you got DeCanio.
I know Nolan got a lot of stick like towards the end of his playing days with us, but what he did as a captain, you can't argue what he did as a captain. He was a good captain on the pitch. Looked after the younger players.
Yeah. I agree. Nolan for me. I think Nolan is second to Nobes, and I think DeCanio is my favourite player. I can't
DeCanio. And then I thought Lucas Neal was a decent captain as well. But I'll probably go DeCanio. If it's the last, so I read the question wrong. I thought it was like my favourite 3 captains. But I'll go DeCanio, Nolan, and Noble.
Right. Man said yogurt in a sock, says Jamie Bullshaw. Fucking hell, you're behind, mate.
He's catching up.
Yeah, don't know if you've ever gone over this, but the Fabian Balbuena is basically guaranteed to leave opinions. Yeah, it's a shame, but they want to play football, and our defence is the maddest position at the minute, because I was only saying this to Dan the other day on one of the watch-alongs. It's a position this season where no one's been dropped for bad form. They've either been injured or got ill, and everyone that's sort of took their position hasn't lost it, and it's hard for the likes of Balbuena. At one point at the beginning of the season, Balbuena was, he was the man. He was in defence with Oggy, and then he lost his position to Diop. Diop took it. Then Diop got injured and lost his position to Dawson, and no one's going to get past Dawson now. You know what I mean? Oggy's.
I think that's the good thing with this season as well, is that whoever comes in does well. And that's another thing that we haven't had for a very long time. You got confidence in any player. Like, say, for instance, if Diop wasn't available for Sunday, if Balbuena come in, I still feel confident having Balbuena and Dawson. Now, if I'd have said to you that was the partnership at the beginning of the season, Nick, fuck knows what you would have said. But no, it's fair play. Whoever comes in does a good job. But Graham, this one's probably for you, mate, from Brandon. What's your favourite away day pub? Now, I'd say the Counting House in Leicester, Gray, because we used to love a little
Yes,
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 little Jack Daniels at the bar, didn't we?
the one opposite the Morrisons. It's it's good pub there.
I never even remembers the Morrisons as well.
Yeah, only because everyone's having a kick about out in the car park.
Yeah, good days.
And the doorman there's a really nice bloke as well, isn't he? Do you remember?
Yeah. He remembered us, didn't he, from the season before?
Yeah, really nice bloke. Look,
that's a good little boozer, and I like the one. What's the one when we go Liverpool way? The Arkles.
The Arkles,
that's a good pub.
I like Liverpool. I've been out a few times.
Either Liverpool away, Everton away, you still go to the same boozer, didn't you? And it's Decent that runs it is a really nice bloke. But no, we've had some good away days, good away day in the boozers. But every time me and Graham went to the bar, we used to get a double Jack Daniels on the slide.
Walk the bar, get around, and he goes, "Should we have one?" Yeah, go on then.
Lawrence Hughes with the weirdest question I've ever fucking seen. What's your opinion on jam on toast dipped in hot chocolate? I ain't got an opinion on it, mate. I've never heard of it.
I don't know, but I want to try it.
What, jam on toast in hot chocolate?
I don't know.
His tea, toast in his tea.
Oh no, I couldn't do that.
No.
Butter in the tea, crumbs.
I don't see soggy bread makes me gag. Soggy bread.
Yeah, it does me and all. Let's get on to Man United a little bit. What do you guys rate our chances for Sunday, lads, mate, after Man United coming out with their injuries? Yeah, it's fucking getting big, isn't it, their injury list?
Yeah, it's Cavani, Rashford and Martial in it. But, you know, you come to Sunday and at least one or two of them will probably be in the squad. But
it's a tough game. It's a tough game.
I know Dan said the other week that Man City is the sort of game that tests our season. But I think Man United, because we haven't got, in Premier League history, we ain't got a great record there. But I think that if we go there and Moyes goes for it like he did, if he puts the same sort of team out he did against Leeds, then I think there's no reason why we can't go there and get the point. And if we get 3 points at Old Trafford, that is a statement to say, look, we're here. We're not here to flirt with the top four. We're here to get into the top four. And I think it'll be a massive 3 points.
That's a tough game, though.
Of course it is.
I was saying the other day, like, you normally, it all depends on how you're going to rate your season now. Because if you want to challenge for that top four, normally you go to Man United and you go, it's a bit of a free hit that. But there's no free hits left. You're getting to the point now where these are all around us, and these are the teams that you want to get in there. And we're dreaming. Of course, we're dreaming about the top four. Do I think we're going to get in it? No, I don't, and I don't expect to. But if we do. I think it'll be fantastic for not only the Premier League, but not only the fan base, but the Premier League as well. I think they deserve. If they get in it, they fucking deserve it, and I'm not going to have anybody that tells me otherwise.
Of course. I mean, you look at it now. I mean, what are we? 2 points. What are we? 5 points? Is it 5 points clear of Liverpool? Or I can't remember.
There's a lot of football and a lot of games to be played yet, right? Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's nearly a third of a season left. But if we do as well as we have for the last 2/3 of it, then we'll have a good end to the season.
Yeah. We're 5 points clear of Liverpool with a game in hand. If you'd have said that to me back at the beginning of the season, I'd have probably slapped you around the face and kicked you. It's incredible the season we're having. And I know Liverpool are in a bad run of form, but listen, it don't matter what other teams around us do. It's what we do. And I think the points tally we've got now at this stage of last season is double. So that shows how well we've done this season. It's incredible. And wherever we finish up this season now, it's been incredible because none of us were expecting it when we lost that first game against Newcastle at home.
Matt Powell says, is there a giveaway on Sunday? Yeah, there may be, mate. Yeah, I might do a little giveaway on Sunday.
I reckon Graham give away like a tray of sausages or something.
Yeah, give away a trimming with your eyebrows.
Yeah, like a nice little 24 Richmond sausages on a tray. Butcher's choice.
Matthew Rainey says Scoot Parker was class. He was, but he wasn't the captain. He wasn't the captain, and that is a bit of like a pub question.
I'll be honest with you, mate. He was a captain in my eyes. He was a captain in my eyes.
Captain.
No, he was 100% the captain, but he wasn't.
Let me just quickly answer this one, mate. I've seen James say a few times, did I have a good birthday? I did, mate. It was my first ever experience of a lockdown birthday. Last year, I just missed it. I didn't have lockdown, but it was a very, I had a very nice birthday. Thank you. And thank you for your birthday wishes.
Darren Hutchinson keeps on saying Sophie. Who the fuck's Sophie? Who's Sophie? Never heard of a Sophie.
Do you know what, Frankie? I've just seen one come up there, and I think he's on about the captains, and I didn't even think about it, but yeah, I would probably Nigel Rio-Coker.
No, yeah.
He was a good captain for West Ham. He just got too much of a big head too soon, and that's why his career sort of faded out.
Relations soured a little bit towards the end.
I'll cut the stream off, like, on the quiet. Do you reckon it all went pear-shaped because of Pardew? What was going on in that season? You know, when it all went pear-shaped, Rio-Coker and all of that sort of nonsense.
No, I think Rio-Coker got. I think he got too much of a big head and a big ego, and he thought
he was linked with like Arsenal.
After that cup final, and he was linked to, like Graham said, with Arsenal and that. He got that little bit of an ego, and he thought he should have been playing at a bigger level. And he went to Aston Villa, and I'll be honest, I can't even remember his Aston Villa career. But after that, he went downward, and now he's doing stuff for the club. Like, I think if he'd have stayed and just kept it, I think maybe Kirbishley sort of fucked him over a bit, if I'm honest. I remember that Man United game when beaten 1-0 when Rio-Coker scored, and I remember his celebrations in front of the fans that he wasn't happy.
Was that against Man U, wasn't it? Was that the Man U game? Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, I remember that.
Matt Powell says, "Hey Ryan, you should let Bazinga cut your hair like last Sunday."
Who did Bazinga cut last Sunday?
I think they've done a video, and they've done a barbershop. They do a Sidemen Sunday.
All right.
I think they've done a barbershop, but that do you know that Chelsea fan Rory? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
The one, he's got fucking long hair, man. Like he had like Lord Farquaad hair. Yeah. Like down to there. And they got hold of his, and they just started like cutting it straight at the back. It was madness.
That's typically Lord Farquaad.
A couple of Sundays ago.
Lord
I feel like, you know, yeah, fucking yeah, I need a Barnet cut, man. It's doing my head in, man. I'm getting a duck's tail at the back, like a little mullet. Honestly, like I've patted it down a bit with a bit of water, but like when it's dry, it's like I look like Doc Brown from Back to the Future.
What the hell is a gigawatt?
Sophie from the CTV channel, the Chelsea.
Sophie Rose.
Yeah, I've met her before. She's all right. She's all right. There's nothing. I don't really know her, to be honest. I met her once. I'll tell you. I did tell you a story about her though. I was sitting next to her when we was doing the shoot for the Football Fan TV. You know, Robbie's show. We was doing a shoot. No, I didn't fart. Right. I'll tell you what did happen. Right. I'll tell you what did happen. I was wearing like a pair of. I was a fucking fat cunt then as well. Right. I was wearing like a pair of jeans, and they was tight as fuck, mate. Right. I mean, tight as fuck. Yeah.
They was that tight. You could see the tattoos on his leg.
I swear on my life, right? So it was sort of in between shoots, and I think she was doing something just before me, and I was getting ready to go on. And anyway, there was chair. I've been standing up all day. Like Ryan attested to this. Like when you do them shoots, man, you're standing up all day. My feet are fucking hurting, right? And I've got to come off camera because I'm going back on to do like a one-to-one.
Can't get the lines right.
Oh, I know. Yeah, I know. The fucking unprofessional bastard. But like, you have to stand up all day, and I've got to come off the camera, and it's the first chance I've had to like have a sit down, and I'm doing like a one-on-one thing with him next, right? And she was sitting on a chair, and there was one chair left, and it was right next to her, right? And I swear it was like one of them fishing chairs, you know, like one of them like material things, like
the fold-up ones.
And it was so funny. I swear on my life, it was so fucking low, right? That I got myself into it, yeah. And I thought it was only about after a minute. I thought, fuck, I'm not gonna be able to get out of here. Like I'm not gonna be able to get out of this chair. It's so low down. My trousers are so tight, right? And I thought I'm not gonna be able to get up. And I thought that's all right. It was only me and her sitting there, and I thought that's all right. She's gonna get up in a minute, and she's gonna like be called through, and what I'll do is I'll sort myself out because I'm going to look a bit of a mug trying to get up here. And all of a sudden they called her in and they went, "Oh, we're going to do Nicky's bit before your bit." And I was like, "Oh no!" Then they've opened up the curtain and every cunt's looking at like where the stage is. And said, "Nick, we need you now." Everyone's looking. I had to roll off the chair. I had to tip it to one side, roll off, and all my crack was hanging out. And then I had to try and get up, and I was a big old lump, and they're trying to get us it's like a fucking buffalo trying to get up when it's born. Oh mate, it was the most embarrassing. They opened up the curtains.
They opened the curtains and his crack was on show.
Oh my god! Everyone was just looking at me. As we top read up, all my crack was hanging out.
Oh, don't.
I kept on saying this is silly.
Yeah.
Yeah, who lowered these chairs? Oh fucking hell. Anyway. Got a question, mate. Hello?
What?
David Unsworth, take some fucking questions, man.
I can't see any questions. You have to put them up.
Oh, you can't see any. Oh, sorry, right. Go on, mate. You put some up.
Yeah.
Let's have a look. I don't think there's any. Get your questions in. Come on. You got 20 minutes left of us on a Friday night. Everyone's just laughing at your story.
Nick, when your jeans that tight, they could see what change you had in your pocket.
Yeah.
They could see the Queen smiling.
They can see a spot on the arse. That's how tight they were.
Oh,
I'll be honest though. I put the same jeans on the other day, man. I had to chuck them in the bin. They was too big. They fell off me.
Yeah, someone's just said here. I've seen it a couple of times. Celtic are sniffing around Moyes. As I said earlier, I think it's one thing. That's probably the first thing we've got to do in the summer is get him tied down to a 2 or 3 year deal. Because listen, as a proud Scotsman, which David Moyes is, if Celtic come sniffing round, Celtic are still a massive club. I know they've had a shit season, but they're a massive team, massive club. So it'd be hard for him to turn it down. So
I said this a couple of weeks ago, mate. Moyes is a Celtic boy, and sometimes and I said this the other week, we've got to be careful because them Celtic jobs, although people might dismiss them and all that, if you're from the area and you're from Glasgow and that, and you grew up being Celtic, it's a bit like religion, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? And if he really fancies that, them jobs don't come along that often. You know what I mean? Neil Lennon was in charge for fucking God knows how long before he had to quit. And
I'll be honest, as a proud Scotsman, what he is, that is probably obviously the Scotland job is number one. The next one down from that would be Celtic. Yeah, so as you said, if they come calling, as much as he loves the Premier League and West Ham, for me, I think it'll be a massive. And I'm not saying we're a bigger club than Celtic because Celtic are a massive club. Their worldwide support is phenomenal, but I think it'll be a backward steps for David Moyes at this moment, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
what are you laughing at? You've seen something.
Yeah, I have.
What are you seeing?
Matt says, I had a maid come into my room when I was in Turkey. I just come out of the shower and I was naked with just a towel. This reminds me, right? We went out one night. We booked into an hotel. We went out with a pal of ours in where was it? Right, Cambridge. It was Cambridge. Wasn't it?
I was thinking of a totally different story.
Oh no! I know what story you're.
I was thinking of buying Napa 08.
Yeah. I know, but there was a time where we was all getting ready to go out, and I don't know whether anyone knows, but I'm always the fucking last. You know what I mean? Like I'll sit around till the very last minute, then I'll get myself ready. Everyone's ready and just waiting for me, right? I got fucking stitched up one day, right? Because we was going out with a mate of ours that had moved to Cambridge, but a load of these like new mates. Yeah. Right, like people I've never met before in my life, right? So we're all in an hotel room ready to get ready. I've left it to the very last minute. Everyone's dressed, right? They go to me, Nick, come on. They're going to be here in a minute. Like they're getting in a cab and all that. Well, they weren't getting in a cab. They weren't in a cab getting ready for us to wait to go. They got out the cab, yeah, and come to the room, right? So all of a sudden, I'm in the shower. fucking walked out, started bollock naked, and there's about 10 people in the room I've never met before in my life.
Nicky was going, hey, get him out. He had to be, get him out.
But the weird thing is, right, is none of them went, oh my God, like, fucking sorry about that. They all just sat there, I had to get dressed. I was in the corner, like, trying to put my pants on.
Do you know what makes me laugh, though, Gray, right? Nicky's, I mean, joking aside, he's terrible at getting ready on time. I remember once, right, we went away to Bristol for the weekend, and we was there on a Friday and a Saturday night, right? And we was in the town centre. We went out on a Friday night. We had a lovely night. Next day, Nicky, we went to the cinema to watch James Bond, I think it was, and Nicky stayed up because he was like tired and that. And I'll be on, right, we went out the Saturday night, right? Now, the cab was picking us up at 8 o'clock. Everyone was meeting in the borough at 7:30. I remember it was about 7:15. I went, Nick, you ready, mate? He went, nah, I need to get a pair of shoes. What are you talking about, a pair of shoes? He went, I forgot to bring my shoes because we was going to this club that you need to wear shoes. He went, no, I've got to go to the shopping centre across the road. I went, Nicky, shut. I said, all day you've been laying in your pit and you ain't got a pair of shoes. This cunt, my mate Wayne's getting frustrated because he wants to leave. So we've all left. Nicky went, I'll meet you there. He gets in a cab and goes to Tesco's, right, to buy a pair of shoes. He turned up. I swear, I thought Geppetto from Pinocchio whipped him up. It was a pair of like winkle, it was like a pair of winkle pickers, like pointy. And about an hour later, he said, I've got to go home because they're hurting me. All day, he could have gone and got a pair of shoes. But he waited till the last minute and said, I've got to go shopping.
Fuck's sake. The thing is with it, right, is that I ain't got
true, though, Nick. It's true.
It is true, mate. It is true.
All day. I'm not even lying, mate. All day. And then he turns up at this nightclub and these shoes were like, you know when you get like the fake leather shoes and they're like shiny.
They have a big buckle on them right in the middle.
My feet are abnormally big. I've got like a size 13 feet. You can't really buy
them. A size 13 pair of shoes at like 7:30 at night.
Saying, like, to get shoes in that, I've got to go out somewhere specialist and try them on and all that. I've turned up at Tesco expecting to get a pair of size 13s. The only one that I had was this pair of shoes. And that was about that long. And God's on this trip, if you push me down the mountain, mate, give me a pair of sticks. I want to ski down them.
Honestly, when he walked in, I thought he was going to start tap dancing. Mate, I'm not even going to go on.
Fred Astaire walked in.
I have got. Honestly, I thought it was Lionel Blair at one point. Do you know what? I've got so many hotel stories about Nicky with his lateness. Like, oh, Nick, I remember we used to pick him up on a Friday night in Billy in their flat. Oh, Nick, be ready for 8 o'clock, mate. All right, yeah, turn up, like, cab outside 10 to 8, buzzing on, no. So they used to leave their front door open. I walk upstairs, they're sitting on their PlayStation, their pants playing FIFA, like, we're outside paying for a cab. I'm like, boss, just give them 10 minutes. And then he goes, I've got to have a shower. I'm like, what's going on?
Nah, mate, fuck it, I'll tell you. Graham, did you just wave?
Yeah.
Yeah, someone said wave.
Yeah, it's great. Are you being held hostage? Give us a secret wave if you are.
Yeah, by Nicky and Ryan. No, I'm only joking.
I'd love you. I'd love to lock you up, Gray. Keep you hostage, mate. I'd feed you.
Remember the old clubhouse when I was sitting in the cupboard of beers?
Remember that time when we locked you in the cupboard?
Yeah, I was sitting there with 2 bottles of beer in the end.
I wish we still had that video.
Oh, it must be some. Where did we post it?
Oh, I can't even remember. It must be on
Twitter.
Facebook.
I'll have to go through the old Facebook videos. It's there somewhere. It was like an advert. We used to do these, like, we used to get back to the clubhouse. We used to do these little adverts for post-match pint. And one of them was Graham in the cupboard because I think he'd been away the week before. And someone said, have you got him locked up in the cupboard? So we've done this thing where we opened the cupboard and Graham was in there in the corner. But I'll be honest, I wouldn't have sat there in the dark. Oh, shit.
Can I just say that
store cupboard?
Go on, sorry, mate. Go on.
No, I say that store cupboard was a bit creepy.
Yeah, but when we opened it, you was touching yourself awkwardly.
I was not.
No, you lying little shithead.
Listen, as we've been on air, we've literally just passed 56,000 subscribers. So we're on the road to 60K. So if you're watching now, if you're new to the channel and you like what we do, even if you don't like what we do, just hit the subscribe button. You ain't even got to watch the videos, you know. But look, listen, it's massive. Thank you so much for your support. You know, it's we love it. We've got so much more to come up now. Once I get that door behind me is the room to my new the door to my new room where I'll be doing videos in future. So on the social, we'll be back. Graham, you're going to come on there with me and your mate. We're going to get the band back together. But yeah, we're doing on social. There's loads more stuff lined up. It's we're going to take this channel. I know we said it before, but we are going to start stepping it up a bit more. And yeah, number one.
LTEL1010 says one of the funniest stories I've ever heard from you lot was that Fulham away match when Nicky hit the deck in a puddle. Yeah, I went fucking flying through it like a Hot Wheels car.
No, mate, I remember trying to get the ticket out to him. I was going to the steward. Let me just pass the ticket to him. He's going, nope, you can't go out. I went, I'm not going out, mate. I said, I just want to give the ticket to him. Look, he's there. And he was going, nope. And then Nicky comes stumbling through the turnstiles. His bag got caught. And as he ripped it off, he ran for a big puddle.
Oh, it wasn't my bag that got caught, it was my arse.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm not being funny, mate. You'll slide through them turnstiles now.
Yeah, I go underneath them.
Nicky be like that. Crystal Palace, Selhurst Park. Yeah, mate, I'm in there.
Oh, do you know what? One of the funniest stories, right? And this is turning into a bit of story night. Me and Ryan went. I think we was underage even to have a drink. Like it was about probably 14, 15, and we went United away, and we used to get on a coach, right?
Oh yeah.
And we went all the way up there. And we didn't have anything to eat, and I was starving, right? So we got to half time. We got in the stadium. We got to half time, and I got myself a pack of sweets. Was it Maltesers, right? Wasn't it?
Nah, M&Ms.
M&Ms, right? I got myself. I was so desperate to open these sweets. I was thinking, oh fuck, I can't wait to have this pack of sweets. I'm starving. I'm struggling with them. He's getting me. Give them to me. I'll open them. I was going, no, it's all right. I'll get them open. Give them to me. I'll open them. No, it's all right. Then all of a sudden he went, give them to me. I'll open them. I went, no, right, it's all right. As I said that, the bag just went. And all these fucking M&Ms just flew everywhere.
I just remember him rolling down the stairs. Yeah, there was a geezer in front of us that had a hoodie on, and he had about 6 M&Ms in his hoodie.
He would, yeah. I was trying to get him out.
Yeah, but that same game, Graham, I'll tell you what game it was. It was the FA Cup game when we lost 6-0. Was it 5 or 6-0? And I remember Nicky's brother Gary had a PSP. Nicky's brother Gary had a PSP. And he went to Gary, look, give it to me because you'll drop it, you'll break it. He went, no, I won't. He went, give it to me. So Nicky took it off him, put it in his pocket. He walked up about 2 steps, fell over and dropped the PSP on the floor.
Poor Gary. Poor Gary.
Brand new PSPs, man. It was about 300 quid at the time.
I remember, Nick, do you remember Leicester away at Filbert Street where you fell up the stairs in front of everyone?
Yeah.
And then I remember Nicky going to me, we was at Derby away, and Nicky went to me, oh, come on, let's go to our seats. And he started walking through this door, and I was like, looking at him, where are you going? He went, come on. And he was walking into the toilet. I was going, where are you going, Nick? Oh, that was a good day, man. Oh, that one chop.
What's that? I was watching some old bullshit.
Daniel Tesson says, I was watching some old Ball Street videos when they seemed to disrespect West Ham a lot when we were on it. What was it like working with them? Listen, I don't take any disrespect to West Ham personally. Like, I'll stick up for West Ham and all that, but I'll let people slag us off. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, it's not their club. You know what I mean? Like, they don't love the club like we do. They don't know the club like we do. I'm a polite person. I just grin. Yeah, all right, whatever. You know what I mean? But it doesn't bother me. I don't take it personally. What was it like to work with them? I'll be honest. I had some Ryan, you'll attest to this as well. Some great fun working with some of them boys.
Yeah, we met some really good people there, didn't we? They give us some good opportunities. Some of the things we got invited to was good. I think even Graham was there that night in the Bobby Moore premiere at Wembley. Sorry,
Wembley, wasn't it?
That was a moment I'll never forget, and even to this day. Funny enough, I was only watching that documentary a couple of weeks ago, and I remember sitting there. I remember because Nicky brought his dad with him as well, and he was a massive Bobby Moore fan. And I remember us all sitting there, and I remember watching the premiere of the Bobby Moore documentary, and they showed the '66 World Cup final, and then I sort of realised that we're actually sitting on the Wembley pitch watching it. And it was a mad feeling, and that's a moment I'll never forget. And it was because of Ball Street that we got invited to them. But I think the funniest thing with Ball Street was the Facebook Awards. That I'll never forget when they went live, and then there's me and Nicky just sitting there, and the presenter was there, and me and Nicky are sitting behind him, and we're trying not to laugh. And do you remember was it Dan Walker? Yeah, it might have been Sam Matterface that goes, because on the panel you had Morientes, Savage, and Lee Dixon. And I remember me and Nicky was trying not to laugh, and there was was it a Leicester fan? And because obviously at that time Leicester were top of the league and they was going to win the league, so they was concentrating on him. And his mouth went dry, didn't it? And he couldn't speak. And I remember him looking at me before they went live. He went, "Need a drink."
they pulled Ryan up for a section, right? And he done a section with Lloyd Griffiths.
Oh, Lloyd Griffiths, yeah.
Right. And I'll never forget this. I was sitting on the table next to him, and he went to Lloyd Griffiths. All right, Lloyd was. I don't think he was quite. He was just up and coming then. Like he wasn't like Soccer AM or nothing like that. But he had a lot of work. And Ryan went to him. All right, Lloyd. He went, "Oh, nice to meet you, Ryan." He went, "I'll tell you what, mate."
No, he went like that, didn't he? He was pulling his shirt. He went, "What do you think of my white shirt?" Go on and tell him.
He went, "It don't do you any favours."
I went, "It's a bit tight, mate."
Yeah, it's a bit tight, mate. That ain't doing you any favours. And this is just about as the camera was about to go, and he went, "You fucking cunt."
That was a mad night, because what people didn't realise, there was a crowd sitting around us, wasn't there, of about 1,000 people. And they was concentrating on us, because that was the night before we played the last game at the Boleyn. So they was obviously they was concentrating on that. And obviously West Ham was having a massive season. So us and Leicester were like the hot topics, weren't they? So no, it was a good night. Yeah, we've had some good times with Ball Street. I mean, I'll never forget the first meeting we really had with them, when we was all there, me, you, and Scott as well, and Graham. And do you remember that, Gray, when we went back to the studios after the YouTube event, and all of a sudden there was a bang on the door, and all of a sudden Ian Wright just pulled in on a Harley Davidson.
Yeah,
it was like, he come in the Ghostbusters house.
Yeah, but he was like that. He went, "The fuck was that?"
Yeah, he pulled in on a Harley Davidson and got out and started eating pizza. And then we sat there and had a good chat with him, didn't we, about his time at West Ham and that. So no, it was good.
Yeah.
It was mad to think Ian Wright was our boss at the time.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
He was. Yeah. I say, but we sat with him for about 20-25 minutes. Then we just having a chat, and that was like really, really nice bloke, and
top bloke.
Had time for us, and
to be fair, Ian Wright loved his time at West Ham, and I think he come out and said that it was one of the best change rooms he ever played in, like for banter and squad spirit. So
let's have debate. He's been talking about these hoodies all night. Guys, how much of the hoodies they are class? I don't know, £30 or something like that, £25-30, something like that. I don't really know, to be honest. Lawrence Hughes says, "Lads, ever been in a football-related fight?" Not really, no. Not really, apart from the one at Tottenham.
Yeah, we won't talk about Tottenham away, but
I think we've spoken about it before, haven't we? Tottenham away, some keeper giving it the big and Ryan giving him a fucking, he clumped him. That was it. Geezer shit himself and run down the road to his 12 mates.
It was good because that was the game where we won 1-0 and Antonio scored, wasn't it?
I just remember that. What was it? The fan cam, and he was going, "We come down here then."
No one saw that fan cam, Gray. He was the only one that saw it.
Eh? Oh, well.
Yeah, it was going off. Come page, just got it.
We couldn't put that fan cam out. But I remember holding the camera. Nicky's doing the interview, and I'm saying, Nick, just leave him, ignore him, because there was about 4 or 5 Tottenham fans behind us. Like, again, I said, just ignore him, just ignore him. All of a sudden, I've turned around, Nicky's put the fucking mic down, or he's given me the mic, and like he's walked off, and I'm like, for fuck's sake. So I've put the camera down, the mic down, and yeah.
Who was looking after the mic and the?
No, I put them down. I put them in the bag, and I turned around, and then we disposed of the Tottenham fans. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, I just got
move them along.
baited. Let's maths debate.
Well,
You know the last comment I read. Let's maths debate. And they're going, oh, you got baited. Yeah, nice.
that's
one.
all right. Masturbate.
Masturbate, wank.
Ram, you went St. Bon's, didn't you?
I went St. Bon's, yes.
Do you know
1987
what?
to 92.
I never went St. Bon's, but I was meant to go St. Bon's, but I went to Eastleigh instead because it was closer. But I've got a connection with St. Bon's because a few of their teachers come to Eastleigh, and we had Mr. Lee.
You had Scout. You had
Mr.
Mr. Lee.
Mr. Wilshaw, who is now the head of, I think, the fucking proper.
Yeah, he was headmaster, yeah.
And Mr. Skelton, I think.
Yeah, Mr. Skelton. Hard as nails, he is.
Oh,
hard as nails.
Horrible bastard. Horrible bastard.
Anyone who went St. Bon's and Skelton was there will know.
Mr. Lee was a good teacher, though.
Yeah, I bumped into him a few years ago in Brentwood Council. Was it?
I got really close to him. He was a really good teacher.
Yeah, he was a very good teacher. But yeah, so 87 to 92, I went there.
Michael Kongstad Peterson says, ever thrown something against the Spuds on the way to the bowling? No, I haven't. I've never thrown a thing in my life. That's cowardly. And anyone that does fucking throw things is stupid.
We've had a few things chucked at us when we've gone to the lane.
We've had a couple of batteries and bottles at us at the Park Lane. But if you do that, mate, you're a fucking idiot, in my opinion.
Yeah, didn't you get it by one ride, didn't you, or something? Did you get it or something?
Yeah. My missus did. Yeah. And the old bloke in front of us got it as well. Yeah, listen, every time I go to Wire Lane, you get that. I call them the curb jumpers because they stand there going, come on.
I've been it with coins at Tottenham.
Listen, I love Tottenham. I love Tottenham away. I love Tottenham away. I love going Tottenham away. But it's the outside bit that I don't like because it's just all it's fucking egg, isn't it? It's just egg. It's just egg.
Is that about the Dolphin Centre? Does anyone remember the Dolphin Centre? You must remember the Dolphin Centre, Gray.
My name Romford.
Yeah, it's where the Asdas is now. Used to be the Dolphin swimming pool.
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
I don't remember. I never went there. I always went over to the waterfront.
The
one over Greenwich.
69 all the way.
Used to go over there.
You used to walk under that long tunnel.
Yeah, the long tunnel, man. That's what I always remember. And the fucking stairs at the end, all the way up, the swirly stairs.
Yeah, you used to go there quite a lot.
Yeah, Matt wants to know if I've ever had facial hair. I'll be honest with you, mate. No, because I don't really like it. I can't really grow it either, if I'm honest. But if I leave it, I don't know. I like clean shaven or trimmed up, whatever it is. But yeah, sorry. If you want me to grow a beard, it might take a few years. I might have to take some of this off and put it there.
When I shave,
I might do James Collins, turn my head upside down.
Now, do you remember those the plasticine things where you used to push the head down and all the hair just grew out of it?
Yeah. I remember.
That's what my beard's like.
Do you remember the other one you used to go swimming baths, Leighton Lagoon?
Leighton Lagoon, yeah, man.
Do you remember the old rumour that people used to say there was razor blades in the slide?
Oh yeah. I remember
the rumour once. It was a shark in it at one time, or something stupid like that.
I remember Woolwich Waterfront. You had the wave machines, and I remember once I used to know this girl that lived around my way, Mercy, and she come with us, and she couldn't swim, and she grabbed me around the neck, and she started pulling me under, and I remember giving her an elbow to the fucking chops. I was like, "Get off me! I can't. Well, I can swim, but." When you got the waves going over your head, and old Choldy was laughing and running off. Yeah, Leighton Leisure Lagoon. Yeah, I used to go there every Sunday morning. Balaam Street swimming baths were shit, weren't they? Really?
Yeah. Do you remember the old the ones around the back of the town hall, East Ham baths?
Yeah.
Town hall.
Remember them ones?
No, I don't remember them ones. Remember Balaam Street? Balaam Street was your bog standard fucking
room. There was nothing going on there. It was just a pool, wasn't it? There was no.
Every now and then, if you was lucky, someone had thrown a fucking one of them noodles or something like that. It was the most boring swimming pool in the fucking on the planet, and that's where, because it was the closest one to me. It was like basically a room with an hole in it with thingy. They didn't put no floats out, but you had all the kids out on a Saturday. You go, can we get a float out? Can we get the thing? Nah. No, I thought you boring. When I think about it, I think you boring cunts. Like every now and then, someone will chuck in a noodle and all the kids will fight for it. It's a bit fun.
What's your favourite pie, Gray?
What, savoury or sweet?
Whatever you want, mate. Dealer's choice.
I think if you're going sweet, it's got to be apple pie.
Oh.
It's got to be apple pie. I think.
Bellissimo.
For savoury one, I think I've got to go beef pie.
Oh, look at him straight in there, beef.
Bit of beef. Oh,
yeah, bit of fun beef. Nick,
yeah.
Pie of choice?
Pie. I like pie, mashed pies.
Yeah. Do you know what? I do like a nice chicken and mushroom. I don't mind a chicken and mushroom.
Yeah, wow. I'll be honest with you, I like all pies, mate. But then Baltic ones, the Baltic ones that you get at
Baltic pie at West Ham, Baltic at Upton Park.
Mate, they were nuclear. Usually it was like eating lava.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, they would never cool down, would they? You'd have them for 45 minutes and they'd still be fucking boiling hot.
I remember we was over there once. My mate was eating one.
Once I put one of them, we all sat around and one of them Baltic pies.
I remember my mate was eating one once. I'm going, let it cool down, but he's eating it. He's going, it's all getting stuck. I'm like, for fuck's sake, let it cool down.
Hang on, before you tell that story, Nick.
No, I'm not telling
Before you tell that story, Josh has donated $1.99. He wants to know our score predictions for Sunday. So quickly go round. I've gone for 3-1 West Ham in my predictions this week. I think we're going to blitz them, and I fancy a nice little 3-1 victory. Gray?
Yeah, I'm gonna go 1-0.
Yeah.
1-0, I think.
See on the fence.
I think 1-0. It's going to be tough.
Who to?
To us.
Where's Graham gone? I'm joking, Gray. Come back.
No, but I'm never confident, but it's one of them times where, you get to. We've played well against them all the time at Old Trafford. Like that Anderson. Do you remember that Anderson one where Anderson scored and it was like fucking foot onside or whatever?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just going to be a really tough game. I think the Rashford missing is massive because Rashford always gives us all sorts of fucking trouble. As if he is, of course. I fancy us, I just fancy us. But anyway, whatever happens.
I've got a question here that I've seen come up, and I've always wanted to ask this question, but I've never really got around to it. But I think it's what not only us in West Ham Fan TV, I think all our subscribers need to know to it, and everyone around the world is Graham. Have you ever dressed up as Santa?
I've always wondered that.
No, I haven't.
Do you know what? I could see him in a Santa's outfit.
I've never dressed up as Santa. But now Matt said it.
I could see him in a Santa's outfit, waist up, but then like a leather thong, and I would go for it. Like Merry Christmas.
Yeah, maybe when we do a Christmas one, I might.
No. Hang on, whoa, hang on. That is the Christmas calendar. It is Graham in a thong with the Christmas outfit on. That is it.
Only if you dress up as an elf, right?
I can imagine him walking in going, "Hi guys, it's Christmas. Do you want a bit of Graham?"
Christmas, everyone.
Oh, listen, I'll be an elf. I'll be an elf all day long. I'm short enough to be an elf. I'll do that all day long.
VSSRLC says, lads, any family links to famous people? Ex-West Ham player Danny Williamson was he was like a distant cousin of mine, not by birthright or anything, but he was like my cousin's cousin. I don't know really. That's all I think.
I don't know. I suppose if we look back into our history, and we're probably related to fucking some royal family. I think everyone's related. Maybe I'm related to Robin Hood because of the Archer surname.
I'm very, very distantly related. I think it was like my nan's like second cousin or something. Pop Robson.
Oh, really?
So I'm very, very distantly related.
My mate Wayne, who's a Millwall fan, as a matter of fact, one of our best mates. His wife is Mad Dog's cousin.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
No, Martin Allen. Yeah, fucking hell. I
know this is not like it's not a football player or anything, but I don't even know what he is to me, but a few years ago, my great uncle looked into our family history, and Graham, you might be interested in this. I don't know what he is to me, but his name's Philip Archer, and he was the first person to ever test flight a Spitfire, and he was killed in the war, and there's a massive memorial for him in France where he actually died, and he's actually a local hero there. And when I look back to my roots, my family roots go all the way back to Barbados.
Really?
Yeah. Which is crazy, because Barbados back in the days used to be like a British
colony.
Yeah, like a British Isle or whatever it was. But yeah, my roots go all the way back to Barbados.
Blimey. How far back did you research?
I don't know. He did. And his name was Philip Archer, and he served. I can't even remember what it was now, but there's a massive memorial from him in France. He was like some war hero or something. But yeah, the funny thing is, and I know you might laugh, but when I looked him up and I looked at pictures of him, he had the same. And this, I know it sounds silly to say, but he had the same hairstyle as what I have, the parting on the side and swooped over.
Yeah.
So hang on, while you go on, I'll look him up.
Was it Philip? Did you say Philip Archer?
Philip Archer, yeah. Look,
Jordan
Philip
Archer,
Philip Archer was shot down and killed on the morning of 17th of July 1943 in combat. Blah blah blah. Let me find out. So let me see. That's him next to the plane with the Archer symbol.
That looks like you, right?
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. It's crazy, isn't it?
Very, very interesting bit of family.
I know you like that, Greg. I know you like your war.
Jordan
I do like my history, mate.
You do, mate. Yeah, you've got a bunker in your back garden. Hey, guys, are you going to go be doing the match preview later on the stream? No, I don't know what's going on with the match preview. Scotty just ain't coming out with them. He's a bit busy at the minute.
That's why Scott's not on tonight. I think he's got a lot going on in his personal life.
I think he's been on call at work as well and stuff like that. So he did say we'll get back to it, but he's just had work wise and a lot going on. So
he's having a baby as well. 80s geezer. Why is that the club don't seem to pay much tribute to Jeff Hurst as a legend? No Hurst shirts online or anything like that. Because of his truth, and this is without shooting down anyone's heroes. I think Jeff Hurst likes a found note, and I don't think he likes to be associated with the club unless they pay him quite a bit of money.
They used to do the shirts with the number 10 on the back.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, the England shirts as well. But no, I don't think Jeff Hurst. As I said, without shooting down anyone's heroes, I've heard Jeff Hurst is not a very nice man when it comes to.
I used to sit next to a bloke at Upton Park when the last 3 seasons at the Boleyn, when I used to sit with my daughter in the Trevor in Upper, and the bloke next to me used to be a cab driver that used to live in Swindon, and that's where Jeff Hurst sort of lives, around that way, and he used to be a cab driver. And he said the amount of times he used to pick Jeff Hurst up, and he'd sort of get in the cab and he'd try to talk to him, and he wouldn't talk to him, and he said he wasn't a very nice person. So, but I've never met Jeff Hurst, so I can't really comment on him. But
yeah. If any of you met Danny Dyer, your royalty, he was his wife was a very, very close family friend to my family, and they did when they was growing up. They used to come to our parties. We used to have New Year's Eve parties and things, and he'd be at some of them. But that was when they was young, before he made it in acting or anything like that. But yeah, his wife is a very good. I
think the funniest Danny Dyer story I've probably got was when he was filming Football Factory. Football Factory just come out, and we used to drink in the Tral and Telegraph in Plaistow, and we was all in there drinking. And I remember, do you remember that was the time we used to get the people coming around selling DVDs in the pub?
That's right, yeah.
And this bloke walked in, and we're sitting there, and Danny's sitting on the bar, and this geezer come over, and he went, he's showing him the films, and he had Football Factory on DVD, like pirate copy, and he was saying to Danny, "Do you want to buy? Do you want to buy?" And he was like, "Nah, mate." He was going shit film. And my mate Gareth pointed at him. He went, look at the cover, and then look at him. And the bloke looked at him and he went, "Oh my God." But he went, £5. He still tried charging him for it as well. But as I said, I've been lucky enough to know Danny a little while, and I played with him in the charity game as well. And I know a lot of people don't like him and that, but I think he's an all right bloke.
Chris Mills says you haven't talked about the club losses, have you? We're going to have to wrap this up now because it's 2 hours long, and we've got to get off. We've got, it's Friday night. We've got families to go to, and but we'll take a couple more. Chris Mills says you haven't talked about the club losses, have you? £65 million. To be honest, Chris, it's one of them things where we've had quite a positive one tonight. I've done enough moaning over the last couple of weeks over things where I probably ain't got no right to moan over.
I think that's a separate video, isn't it? That's like a...
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe we should do a separate video for that.
Yeah, I think we're probably going to talk about that probably on post-match Pint or something about like that. But I just think it's the world we're at the minute. The pandemic was always going to, it was always going to incur some sort of loss.
I mean, if we'd lost that in a normal year, then it'd be a real worry. But
it still is a worry. It's a worry for the people that you know what I'm saying. But I think it, like, just a quick answer. I think it goes to highlight how much they, if they're borrowing money from left, right, and centre. I think we're double debt now that we was when we moved. They ain't got no right to fucking be here anymore. That's my opinion. But anyway, we'll talk about that another time because we're having a good time tonight.
It's a good time, baby. There's a lot of people. Someone said here, the pirate copy was better than the official DVD. I totally agree. I've actually still got the original copy, and it was a lot better. Even the songs was a lot better.
The music was so much better.
Yeah, they had a lot more Oasis in the original one.
Yeah,
it's still a good film. I watched it the other week. Funny enough, I watched that and I watched Green Street. I went through a little phase of watching, like, I watched Football Factory, Green Street. I watched Cass because I love Cass because I remember when they filmed that because that was right outside my work in Canning Town. I remember when they shut off the roads to film that. Rise of the Foot Soldier 1 and 2. So I had a little.
Did you watch The Firm, right?
I love The Firm. I love it. Do you know what I found? Let me take this.
No, I haven't seen the remake though. I haven't seen it yet.
No, I didn't find Yeti, but do you know what I actually found? And I might give it away because I'm never going to put it up. Years ago on Twitter, when you remember the Hooligan Factory, the spoof film that come out.
Yeah.
I went in a competition on Twitter and I won a signed poster by the cast, and I found it the other day. I completely forgot I had it, so I might do that as a little giveaway if someone likes the Hooligan Factory. But it's signed by all the actors, and I've still got that. I totally forgot I won it. Like, it was even before we done this channel. I think it was about like 2014, 2015, something like that. But
I'll tell you what, right? And I've got the only reason I'm asking is because I've got one. What is something that you've won? You've got a couple as well, right? That you've won. The best thing that you've won that you've given away.
Best thing that I won that I've given away.
Yeah.
What do you mean, giving away as like to someone or just as a competition or something?
Just whatever, mate. Like, give it away to your mate or give it, back to charity. You've won quite a few things at the Isla auctions, didn't you? And give them back.
Yeah. I'm trying to think now. Obviously, when because the thing is with Isla is that obviously I know one of Isla's cousins, and I've known her for a long while, so I sort of knew about Isla before she got when everyone knew about her, when West Ham got involved in that. And we went to one of her first ever events, and I said to you, like, look, we've got to go there. It was a great event at the Roundhouse, and I still say to that this day that it was good that night, because where Isla had never had the publicity is that everyone there that night was there for Isla. It was family and friends, and I got in contact with. Listen, I'm not going to name names because I'm not like that, but there was a few people I got contacted that are involved in the club and current players that ignored me at the time. And the only people that got back to me was Paul Konchesky, who got me Mark Noble's match worn shirt. Matty Everton, he spoke to Ginger Pele at the time and he got me Hernandez's shirt, because obviously Chicharito at that time was a massive player for West Ham, and Jack Sullivan as well. He got back to me and he got me a signed match worn squad shirt, and we obviously give them straight back to Isla and they auction them off. And we've had the Canio shirts, everything we've got, we've just given to. And I know, listen, I love Isla's publicity. I do, because I've been there since the beginning. I know the story, and as I said before, she got the publicity. I knew Isla's story, and we've been to every event that they've put on for her, and I always will. And I don't put it on Twitter and publicize it and things like that, and I always keep quiet about what we do for Isla. It's not about who does what, it's about her raising money. And we've give quite a few stuff away. Everything we've got we've give away to raise money for Isla.
Yeah, absolutely, mate. Yeah, I'll back that up. I won a game at the last game of the bowling after it. Do you remember, Ryan? And I won it. I won the competition to play on the pitch at it would have been one of the last, I would imagine, at the bowling, and I won it through. Who the fuck was that?
It was fuck it.
Trading company, wasn't it?
Yeah.
One of the trading companies that we've been involved in that have gone bust since, and they had like a tournament, and I'll give it to Ryan. I couldn't play. What's the point of me fucking turning up?
Even that day, I remember leaving my house. I thought, give me a couple of hours to get there. And I got caught in traffic on the A13, and I was sweating. I thought, no, I ain't missing this. It was a good day. That was.
But he was telling me that I was like, I couldn't even make it. I was like, what was it like? And he was like, yeah, it was all right. He said, but I walked out the tunnel and I was taking down the fucking trunking in the fucking tunnel. I was like, oh, right. He's going, it was just like dismantling.
Honestly, anyone that played that day, Phil Parks took everyone on a stadium tour. And literally, we was walking around, there was nothing there. There was people like removal companies like taking everything out. And Phil Parks went, oh, yeah, that's where that used to be. And I'm thinking to myself, what is the fucking point in this? But the highlight of my day that day was because it was like a five-a-side tournament, everyone had to take turns going in goal. And I went in goal for one game and I fucking hated it. But Phil Parks was standing there watching our game, and I tipped one round the post and he went to me, good save that, son. And I thought, oh, that's it, mate. I've fucking made it. And then I let one go through my legs. I let one go through my legs after that, but he weren't watching. I thought, I don't give a fuck. Phil Parks thinks I'm the bollocks.
He weren't watching.
The thing is, because I'm short, I can't get lobbed in the five-a-side goal. But listen, us three sitting here, we've had the opportunity to play at Upton Park. A
couple of times.
I'll never forget the first time I played there, and it was Nicky's first game as well. We was the last game, so we got to play under the floodlights. Of Upton Park. So there was two games before us, and we was the last game, and we played against the Vets team. And I'll never forget that moment, lining up in the tunnel and walking out to Bubbles, and and I think there was a good 500-600 people there that night. And it felt like a full stadium to me.
Because I think I played in the first game. I was on the one before you, wasn't
I? And the one thing I didn't know until after the game when we went up to the lounge for a drink is that night Alan Hansen and Trevor Brooking was doing an FA Cup tour.
And I was watching it, weren't they?
They was there that night and they was watching our game. And I'm glad I didn't know that, because I would have probably crumbled under with Sir Trev watching us. But yeah, to play there as a West Ham fan, I've played there quite a few times after that. But I'll never forget the first. You never forget your first time, Gray, do you?
You don't, right? You don't.
See, look, the first game for me wasn't very memorable. The second one was because I scored 2, and you got a hat trick.
That was the week before we went to Mexico because Craig broke his fucking finger.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. The second one was the most memorable. The first one, it was all too much for me. I remember we kicked off, and I wasn't the fucking fittest person anyway. And I fucking went sprinting off. I got all excited, going sprinting off. I turned around to Ryan after 5 minutes. I'm blowing out, right?
I remember we kicked off, and I run over to the touchline, and I got someone to take a picture of me on the pitch. I wasn't even bothered about the game. That was mad. It was mental,
the second one, I scored 2. That was really good, man. And then he got a hat trick. I hit the bar for a hat trick.
Yeah, the thing is like they're memories that no one can ever take away from you.
I was thinking about this the other day. Somebody's got to have them on DVD or video or something.
I think I've got the first game on DVD.
Did anyone have the first one?
See, I think I've got my first game there. That was 2003 though, but that's on video. That's on video, not DVD.
I set up our first goal and I played a lovely through ball for our striker to score, and they played it on slow motion replay. It was like match of the day. Fucking loved it. That's the only bit.
We all did a lovely photo, me and Ryan, because they done like lineups. We had these photos, right, and it was me and Ryan. We was talking to each other and we was laughing, and it was really nice. And we never got them for some reason. I can't remember. We saw the photos that we ordered them.
Gray. If you look at Nicky's shorts, he was very excited about playing up to the partner.
I tell you, man. They look at this picture. He got white shorts on. My balls looked about fucking that big. I had big fucking going for. I don't know why.
He's excited.
Honestly, man. Should we wrap it up for tonight, guys?
Yeah. Mate.
Yeah. Thank you so much for everyone for watching. Thank you so much for getting us to 66,000 subscribers as well. That's fantastic. We're getting 56. Sorry. We're on the road to 60,000. That means we would fill up the London Stadium with our subscribers, which is fantastic. Thank you so much for watching, as always. People, you guys are going mental for the merch. You go and check out the merchandise in a link in the description down below. We'll be back again this weekend with all of the content coming up again the game against Manchester United. I've got a preview tomorrow coming up with a couple of newbies that got in contact that wanted to have a chat about the game on Sunday. So that'll be going up tomorrow. Interesting chat, to be honest with you. It's not so much about the game, it's just an interesting chat. See where the differences of opinions lie and all of that sort of thing. I think it's quite an interesting one. Not everyone's going to agree with it, I can guarantee you that. But that's coming up tomorrow. As I said, we're building up for the Man United game. Catch all the fan cams and everything else. You've been fantastic as usual. Thank you so much for getting involved. Thank you everyone that's commented tonight. Let's make donations and put super chats in. We really appreciate it. We don't expect it, but we do appreciate it. And anything left to say, boys?
Come on, you on.
One thing left to say. Come on, you irons.
Come on, you irons.